I cannot see you. Your camera is off. It says your camera is off according to my guy. Yeah. I can see me. That's all that matters. Well, it's a pretty lousy face, let's be fair. everyone, to the annual Martha Son draft show. Uh-oh. And I think we have oh, he's there. He's there. Is that
So
is that
I
is that firearms in the background?
just BB guns and shit. The
Uh-huh.
boys like to play with them. This is the gym that we're building.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic. Is that an air conditioning unit?
Yep. We had this place ran for electric, and
Mhm.
we're painting it and insulating it and all that shit now.
Nice. Nice. So, yeah, man, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is. Unfortunately, I don't think this draft's going to provide as much entertainment as we will be expected to.
No, I mean, I tell you what, I tell you what, where some of the excitement is going to come is going to be right off the bat because who the hell knows what Jacksonville is going to do, man?
With the number one overall?
Yeah, well, and I say that just because of who the GM is, man. Like, I've been reading a lot and hearing a lot. Trent Baalke, right? He's the guy who drafted Aldon Smith back in San Francisco, and he's been kind of a mess when it comes to being a general manager. So I'm like, I don't know. Like he could do
I would.
something stupid. Let's just say that.
He's been known to, and he's been known to be the confrontational type.
Yeah.
So him trying to shake things up could just bring the whole thing down, and it's already a bad project.
Yeah, it really is. That's be completely honest about that. It is a terrible, terrible project.
I didn't see that shit with Urban Meyer coming though. I promise you that. I had no clue. Are you kidding me? How do you kicker? Of all the players, how do you kick the kicker?
Dude, let's be fair. If you're gonna kick any player in the NFL, you're gonna kick a kicker.
Listen now, consider this. All they need to do is kick. That's a whole lot more, or that's a whole lot more free time.
Yeah.
All right. In that time, some of these guys get swole.
No, yeah, they do. They definitely do.
And so I don't know. Could you imagine kicking Sebastian Janikowski?
Oh no, Seabass wouldn't have it, dude. Seabass would just no, man. He throw like a bottle of tequila. He would go ham.
He tried to pay off a cop when they pulled him over, and he didn't think there was anything wrong with it because that's what he used to do in Poland.
Yeah, that's a very very true statement. He's a nut, man. I love Seabass, and I miss Al Davis. I'll say it. I mean, for a while, I was the guy who was, you know what? I think Al Davis is kind of past his prime, but he was always good for something, man. And when he missed on a pick, it wasn't because he missed because he just like, oh, I'm gonna take a safe pick. No, man. He missed epic.
He's going for runs or
Yeah.
bust.
Yeah, he's like, forget all that noise. I'm doing it my way.
Give me the fastest, prettiest, shiniest toy. See what we can do with it. Al doesn't fit. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, but getting back to this draft, man, I don't know. Trent Baalke is kind of he's a loose cannon, and he could do something stupid. Like I hear a lot of talk about them possibly taking Trayvon Walker, who by most people's account is pretty far down the board. I mean, not too far. He's probably like a top 15 pick, but he's not the number one overall pick. He has no college production, so maybe it'll translate into the NFL. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But the one thing I will say is indicative of this draft is there's a lot of solid players. There's just no like there's no like Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow or those guys where,
Now,
make you grab
you
your
know,
nuts and hope for the best.
well, I mean, this has got to be actually an exciting draft for you because this is a draft of offensive linemen.
You would
Right?
think that, except Miami has the fewest picks in the draft since 1999. I think they have like 3 picks this year.
What, Miami?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
That's no good. All right.
you got to remember though what Miami has done, and this is kind of an interesting topic in general, is this new wave of GM and front office playing where people are just throwing away draft picks for commodities. Miami traded a whole bunch for Tyreek Hill.
Talk about pushing the chips to the middle of the table right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if there's any player in the NFL that is worth what they paid for Tyreek Hill, because you're just going to weaken your roster everywhere else for that.
I mean, anything that's not a quarterback.
I wouldn't pay that much for a quarterback.
You wouldn't give 5 picks for a quarterback?
No.
Why not?
Well, let me ask you this: how often has a quarterback in a trade been, when they've gotten traded to a new team, been successful? I mean, how many times has a good quarterback gone to another team and has relived the same success? It's not happened very often.
Last year, Jim.
What, Tom Brady?
They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a
Sam
rarity.
Bradford.
You can't use recency bias, man. I mean, Sam Bradford. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Let me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to illuminate. So we've had in past 2 Super Bowls, we've had Tom Brady and we've had Sam Bradford, right? But that's an anomaly. In both of those situations, that team was very, very complete, especially the Tampa Bay team. They were a stacked team. That the only reason why they weren't in the Super Bowl the previous years is because Jameis Winston doesn't know how to he can't help himself but to throw bad interceptions.
You know, when that trade happened, when he went to Tampa Bay, I was talking to my dad, and he said, you know, he doesn't know. He was the kind that actually thought that Brady was washed, and I was like, all he has to do is get as many touchdowns as Jameis and half the interceptions, and there'll be a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And you were right. I mean, I will admit I was wrong. I thought that was going to be a 7-win team.
I thought they were going to be a 7-win team last year, and when just I keep on trying to doubt Tom Brady, and until he's fully retired, until Giselle retires him, I won't doubt the man.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still very much on the side of Tom Brady hasn't carried a team on his shoulders. He's always been a product of having a great team around him.
Yeah, but you know, this is something that's getting annoying to me is putting all the blame on one player, to include a quarterback, that saying that quarterback is like facing another quarterback and they beat that quarterback. That's not true. Mm-hmm. That's not ever true. A quarterback doesn't win a game.
No,
11 I win the game.
I do. And that is actually what you said is the exact reason why I am very much against paying too much for a single player. Because teams win Super Bowls, quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls.
No, teams win Super Bowls. Exactly.
So when you pay a quarterback that much money, it is hamstringing your ability to build out your team.
Well, that's why the younger teams always have a better roster, because you don't need to pay your quarterback.
Yeah.
You have a whole now I don't know how. Oh, Jacksonville's on the clock.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville was on the clock already.
Uh, hopefully that. Hopefully this happens fast. I'd love him to make a trade. I would love him to make a trade for Baker. Do it.
Oh, dude, I would die. Like, why would you? That would be so stupid.
That's the end of the draft, dude. That's the out. We have to end it at that point.
Yeah. If yeah, I dude, if Baker Mayfield gets traded to Jacksonville, who has Trevor Lawrence right now, who I'm not quite sold on anymore, but if they trade Baker Mayfield for the first round pick, I will literally do the truffle shuffle from Goonies. Like
I
I would get up and do it, man.
I really do. I need to have that in my life. So Jackson, help me out here.
Oh my god, dude. I would yeah. I got yeah. That's just an amazing thought to me. If they did that.
I don't even know, even if you were to bring this into the realm of reality,
Uh-huh.
like who could they trade that first pick to? And for what? So they have to take a lineman, right? They have to. Lawrence was eating.
You would think. I mean, there's a very, very good chance that they end up just taking a defensive end because they just signed Cam Robinson. They signed him to an extension, and I mean, the safest pick would be Hutchinson. After that, Evan Neal or Iki, who Iki's a beast, man.
I see, but I learned something about Evan Neal that I didn't know. In his 3 years at Alabama, he played 3 different offensive line positions.
Oh yeah,
that's
solid.
I mean, what's that?
That's an amazing feat.
Yes, in the SEC, I mean, pick that dude up. I would pick that. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson's real nice, but
yeah.
But I mean, when you have something that versatile, you gotta grab it up, especially for a young quarterback who, like you said, hasn't proven himself yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could put him all over. Like, you could have him at bookend tackles. Like, him and Cam Robinson would be great. And I'd be kind of wary about Hutchinson, too. Just in the general that Hutchinson is... Let's be honest. No pass rusher in this draft is like the equivalent of a Nick or Joey Bosa, a Chase Young. I mean, these are guys... I mean, I think a better comp for someone like Aiden Hutchinson is kind of... not player-wise, but coming out more like a... In most drafts, he probably would have been drafted around where T.J. Watt was drafted. He's got
where was he?
Like 20s, somewhere in the 20s.
Late first.
Yeah, he was late first rounder. Now he's blossomed into something completely unreal, absolutely. But overall, though, it's not been a great like in most drafts he would be a little bit further down the board because he's just not the equivalent.
Well, I think that's kind of like the whole drafts, in a nutshell there. I mean, there's not even a legitimate first round quarterback. When's the last time we saw that? Well, right.
What do you mean? Did you say first round cornerback?
QB.
You mean this year?
There's no first round quarterback.
No. But someone's gonna get taken in the first round because reasons.
I think. I mean, the only reasonable scenario that I overheard I was looking at is if the Falcons take him. I think I would understand that.
Who do you think they're going to take as a quarterback? Oh, Malik? Yeah. Hey, you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that the pick is in, man.
That's what I see here.
Yeah. What's your weapon of choice?
I got to go with Evan Neal.
You have an Evan Neal?
Oh my God. I mean, that's like a wet dream for Trevor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? They're probably going to do something They're probably gonna do something stupid like draft Sauce Gardner.
Well, the best available right now, as I see here, is Kyle Hamilton. So they could take a safety, which would be fantastic.
I mean they could, but I wouldn't. I would never take a safety #1 overall.
No, there hasn't been such a creature.
I don't think
since,
ever.
What's the guy that from Washington that died tragically? Played at the U.
Oh yeah. Sean Taylor, who went 6th overall, I believe.
Yeah, and if he ain't going first, I don't know that we have anything that's going first.
No, I don't. There's no way.
That man would have had like an Ed Reed career.
Yeah, he was. Oh, he was a freak, man. That dude, Josh Allen. I'm looking at the chat. When's the last first round pick? Josh Allen. Thanks, Jeff. I mean, that's be fair. We're talking about this year. There's no first round quarterbacks. Haskins, come on, man. Let the poor man die. Let him be dead. You know
that was. Dude, what? How sad was that shit?
Yeah,
like
that was messed up.
Yeah, and he was set to start this year, wasn't he? Or
No.
at least
he was going to compete. But I mean, if he couldn't beat out Mason Rudolph. Okay, man, pick us in.
On Walker.
Let's see.
With the first pick.
Defensive
in the
end,
2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travon Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
Wow.
My goodness.
All right.
This young man
You know what they did?
from Georgia,
They drafted.
who somewhere in the middle of this process was projected to go in the mid-20s, and has chosen to be home in Atlanta, surrounded by his big family. Didn't want to be here away from anybody that he loved, that helped him get to this point.
Looks the part.
Having a moment he will live with the rest of his life. The Jaguars selecting Travon Walker with the #1 pick in the draft. Early in this process, Todd McShay called him the most underrated prospect in the class. Big and quick, had sacks in both the semifinals and the championship game this year. Finished with 6.
Vibe with that pick.
That's a C with a little bit of trepidation. That could turn into a bust.
Mm-hmm.
Why you take it? I mean, not in this league, not in today's league. You don't take that.
No.
All right. You know what?
Oh, you're getting a little.
I like being able to make fun of teams.
Oh yeah.
Say what?
Oh, I do too, man. I wish I was Mel Kiper going ham right now so I can get called out by the GM. Who is this Jim Coon guy I think he is? You remember that, Jones?
Yeah. Terrible. They're giving me, all right, I'm getting a fan ballot here.
A fan ballot.
I don't know why. I'm on NFL.com. Yeah, like grade the pick. We could work right along with it. What would I said a C before I even noticed this, but what do you think?
I think C. I think C's good, but this is kind of like it's just getting a C on an open book assignment, like an open book test. So not all C's.
Yeah, like
he's got the potential to be okay. Yeah, it's a passing grade, but I'm not sure.
Like you could have. All right, C it is. Yeah, their explanation for F is try again next pick.
I can't go so far as to say that it's going to be a complete bust. Because I don't know. I mean, it was just. There's too much that's going into it. Oh, snap.
Well,
the line's already got this pick in.
What?
Yeah, line's already ready to go, man. So, I mean, This sounds like it's probably going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, it sounds like they just sprinted. I'm sitting there, I'm still pontificating on the Lion or on the Jacksonville being Jacksonville, and the Lions are already going ham.
I just I'm on something. So. All right, well, who's gonna take that amazing offensive lineman then now, since I fucked myself up here?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Aiden Hutchinson.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So the question is.
Go ahead.
Whew. All right. So I'm just saying, you had the question of who's going to take an offensive lineman. Ugh. Texans could be an interesting pick. Lions took Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep. So now Houston's on the clock. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, Houston's
on the
clock.
Defensive. What do the Texans even need? My God. Everything?
Yeah, I mean, their basic needs right now, I mean, they're a team that kind of needs everything. Their major needs, it sounds like cornerback, defensive lineman. So, again, we could see Kayvon Thibodeau go in here, even though he's more of an edge. This actually could be a good spot for Sauce Gardner, although I mean, I don't know if I would pick Sauce this high. I would probably be more inclined to pick Kyle Hamilton this high over Sauce Gardner at this point, because I think he's got a little bit better of a career ahead of him.
Higher. It could be a good for Icky though. You like Icky Ekwonu.
Yeah.
And just another thing that they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's their quarterback this year?
David Mills. You know, the neck.
The neck.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is just phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Arugula.
Arugula. Is that how it goes? Shit.
Oh man. So yeah,
All right. I don't know what I did again.
Wait, what happened? What'd you break? P?
Hey, this is my son's computer, and it's a gaming computer that I'm trying to use as like just a normal computer.
Please, dude. I'm using a gaming computer. Oh, by the way, dude, you like the glass?
I do. Hold on, let me see this here.
You don't?
Holy shit.
It's still in rotation, son. It's still in rotation.
Picks in for Houston.
Oh, snap. So, most likely the safest pick is going to be Evan Neal. Lately, I know Icky's been getting a little bit more of a upside than a lot of people, but they're probably going to pick Evan Neal. If they don't take him, I can actually see them taking either Sauce Gardner or, Tyler Lindenbaum. Maybe Tyler Lindenbaum. Definitely Trent McDuffie is a possibility. But they need help all over the place, so they should really just go for the best player available.
Well, do you protect the quarterback that's been running for his life, or do you try to stop people from scoring on you? I mean, Davis Mills needs to stay alive. I'm sticking with an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
anything.
I would agree.
That's the foundation when you're building a team.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. Like you always should start in those trenches. Now, what do you think, chat? I mean, do you think it's going to be a lineman, or do you think they're going to go defense? Especially remember who their coach is now, Lovie Smith.
Oh yeah, that's right. They picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good pickup. The guy should be a head coach.
Lovie Smith?
Yeah.
He is their head coach.
That's what I'm saying. He should have been a head pilot.
Yeah. What about the Brian Flores thing, man?
No, that was. I think that Flores called them out on their bullshit in a way that the NFL had it coming ever since they established the Rooney Rule. Yeah. And this was it. That was the reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hate even talking about it, really, because like it's such an old. Why are we still talking about this? Put it, give them the stats and don't tell them who they're reading about. The organization that's looking for a new coach. Just give them the stats. Be like, this guy sounds good.
All right, so the pick is in for the Texans. I'm gonna try to go to the draft card and see what happens.
22 NFL draft.
I was gonna say I need to sign.
The Houston Texans select Derek Stingley
Jr.
Defensive back, LSU.
Cornerback, LSU.
And so on an unpredictable night, we have our first big surprise. There was a moment in time where it looked like this might be the best player in the country. That moment was 3 years ago. He was a high school superstar, state player of the year as a senior, as a true freshman on LSU's national.
Because he wasn't number 1 or 2.
No. No, but he might be. So I think he's kind of like one of those boom or bust picks too. And he's so what I've kind of remember about him is he's had some really good years, and then the past couple of years haven't been as good. He probably has more upside than any of the other corners ahead of him, like Sauce and Trent McDuffie, but he has a little bit more bust potential because his production has gone down every year. But I think athletically he's got everything that he needs.
I'm seeing articles here that are saying he's the most talented cornerback in the draft.
Yeah.
So, like you said, if you're for quality, and he was in the SEC, any defensive player in the SEC is at least ready to start in the NFL. Have to the pros.
You know what we should have did, Palermo? We should have went to Alabama.
Place perfect.
Do you think we could have cut it there, man?
I just being in that state right now kind of sort of gives me gas cramps. It's like, Ew, I wouldn't want to get Alabama on me.
No, man, that's But I don't know. I'm like, that would be kind of funny. We could have. I don't know, man. I sometimes I still think that if I would have actually worked out and took it serious, I could have at least got a few more offers than I did, maybe to some D1 AA. Because my brother, Chewy, he got offers to Youngstown State.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Of course, I think their coaching staff was a little bit better at recruiting than our coaching staff was.
Maybe, yeah.
nothing against Chris or Chewy, but
hold the phone. Was there a trade for the Giants' number 7 pick to Chicago? And what are the details on that?
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. You're right. All right. Let's see if we can figure out some of these details here. So Chicago just bumps up and Giants move down, which is actually a really smart move by the Giants because if they're going to get picks next year's draft has a chance of being like
way more
yeah.
than this. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's the smart move for them, being as though, I mean, if you have 2 of the top 10 picks, get rid of 1.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what they got, but they better have gotten that's at a premium right there.
Yeah.
And what the hell does Chicago want at number 7?
That's a good question. They could be going up and getting offensive linemen. I think Chicago could definitely use a couple linemen.
It'd be nice to protect Justin Fields for sure.
Yeah, at least see what they've gotten with him. I believe, didn't they lose Khalil Mack?
Yes, he went to San Diego.
So maybe they're looking for a replacement for Khalil Mack.
All right, picks in for the Jets, and then we're about to find out here with New York. They're on the clock. See what they're going to do with their draft now that they've got. I mean, I need to know what they got.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta. We need some trade information. Chat, if you guys know what happened with those trades, let me know. I only got so many screens.
I'm working on it here. I'm working on it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself.
Tell them to get it. All right. New York Giants and Chicago Bears agreed to a blockbuster trade in the first round. No, never mind. That's old news. Draft 2022, please.
Come on, P. Let's go.
First, trade down with Bears. Okay. I finally think I found something here. Giants. Yep. What about the Jets? Have they?
The Jets pick is in. And it's almost time for us to switch over to the Jets broadcast.
The Jets broadcast?
Well, their pick.
Oh.
All right, so let's see if they get up to the stage. I think I finally got the pick is in video, so we can all watch this relatively real time.
Nice. Yeah, my computer decided to stop working here.
Yeah, and now I can actually focus. I can focus on doing the stuff. So that's switch over.
The Jets have plenty of needs. They finished in last place in the AFC East for the fifth time in the last 6 years. Let's see what decision the Jets have made.
You know what? They may go
with the 4th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The New York Jets select Sauce Gardner,
with the Jets?
Sauce
defensive
Gardner.
back, Cincinnati.
They selected Sauce Gardner.
Ahmad Sauce Gardner, lightly recruited coming
out
of
of
high school, but during his college career is an absolute lockdown corner for the Cincinnati Bearcats. He never gave up a single touchdown pass. Developed himself into a player. He's making that walk.
Good enough. How you not
greet the commissioner, Roger Goodell.
And who's an undersized
Sauce Gardner. You see, he was introduced as that. The nickname has become a part of him. But where exactly did Ahmad Sauce Gardner earn that nickname?
Just completely, you know.
And what the Browns have done to every quarterback now 20 years.
Yeah.
A1 Sauce Sweet Pea Gardner was a nickname. That nickname been sticking with me since forever. My little league coach, Coach Tez, gave me the nickname. Said he saw a vision that he don't think I seen. He said that name fit perfectly with me. When I got to Cincinnati, they didn't just start calling me it. You know, I had to earn it when I got there. All the Cincinnati fans, they all just started calling me Sauce.
Sauce Gardner takes it to the house.
And I feel like that chain is pretty simple. It says Sauce on there, but it has little drops under each letter, you know, to symbolize, you know, the name.
Nope.
Every time I...
Never mind.
Easy, buddy. Do you need help?
No, I'm just trying. I'm doing a balancing act here. If you're not going to be supportive, shut the fuck up. No.
When have do I look like a bra? When have I ever been supportive?
I mean, I got married.
Yeah, you did.
You backed me on that one.
Best man, baby. How was that, dude? That wedding. Whew. I think that your wedding, dude, is wow, man.
Everybody still talks about it. I don't know, man. We threw down.
You did throw down. You guys, you guys went nuts. I mean, oh man, I remember dancing with GBT and catching. I don't know how I ended up catching the garter belt, man, but I did.
We slungshotted at you.
Why? Because you were trying to tell me I would need to be next.
Hey, giving you all the bud.
Who was gonna at that point? Who was gonna marry my fat ass?
Man, you weren't fat. You were charming.
I was charmingly fat, dude. Let's call it what it was, dude. You know, my shoes had stretch marks. Let's be fair.
Hey, you came out on the other side. You got through the thick, and now you got the thin.
Yeah, and I still can't get chicks, man.
They're there. You just never take a hint.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the NFL draft.
The NFL draft.
NFL draft. So, New York Jets are on the clock. They got a lot. Interesting news that came out today is the Giants not picking up the option on Daniel Jones.
I think that was a really smart move for him. Honestly, like, do you want to pick up that option and then have to get into contract discussions with a guy that, I mean, I don't even think that he's a middle of the pack quarterback.
No, he's probably about average. I mean, he's probably about average. But again, he's another one that suffered with no offensive line at all. But that being said,
it's not even just the offensive line. I mean, Saquon keeps on getting injured.
Which again, you don't take a running back that high. I don't care how good they are.
No.
It's not like it used to be.
Oh shit! Picks in for Giants now.
Mm-hmm.
Who names it Sauce, man? That's really cool.
What's up? Oh, that's his nickname. His nickname is Sauce.
I don't care. It's like you look at what's his name? Sauce.
Sauce.
Like it's just you have to be famous with a name like Sauce.
All right, so getting back to the Giants now, right? Here's the interesting question: are the Giants now in an active market for quarterback?
Not this year. I wouldn't say this year, but I think this absolutely speaks to the fact that they're looking for what they're not going to try to trade anybody. I mean, like, there's nothing better out there than what they have.
Yeah. I mean, there's more potential than what they have. Like Kenny Pickett, Malik. Well, it looks like the draft, the pick is in. So that's...
Sam is a 19-year-old heart transplant guy whose favorite team is the Giants. He will make the pick.
For the New York Giants pick,
hype man.
I'm joined by Sam Prince.
There's a hype man.
A lifelong Giants
fan. I'm not watching this live.
And Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah, there's a Giants fan who's up on the stage, being kind of, Charlie Happy Pants. Yeah, he's a lifelong Giants fan, but he looks like he's 12, so hasn't been a Giants fan that
Sam
long.
is post-heart transplant,
but
and feeling stronger than ever, as you can see.
No, but he. I mean, now I give him a little bit more
Tonight,
respect. It sounds like
his wish to announce the Giants' first pick comes true. We hope this wish will be a turning point for Sam as he looks forward to being a sports broadcaster.
Kayvon Thibodeau going to the Giants from Oregon.
Okay, Sam, it's time to get your wish true, baby.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell.
Yeah, so they're announcing it on my feed right now.
With the 5th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Kayvon Thibodeau, defensive end,
still have Darius
Oregon.
Leonard, right?
I believe so.
Woo!
Yeah, I
One
mean,
year ago, this guy was the consensus #1 overall pick. No question. The Giants have to be ecstatic about this, and defense is carrying the day. The first 4 picks going defense, it was the first time since 1991 when the first 6 players selected were defenders. Now, the top 5 in this draft have all been defenders. Kayvon Thibodeau, he has a cryptocurrency. I can't believe he didn't call the cryptocurrency Thibodeau.
I'm with you on that one. Anyway. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
He is a remarkable guy with varied interest and a great talent.
And he's as advertised. Came out of high school, the #1 ranked recruit in the country, and just flashed right away at Oregon with 9 sacks his freshman year. Led them to the Pac-12 championship. 6'5", 250, can bend. So athletic, tremendous speed, and when he's healthy, he's virtually unblockable. But this past year, his stock tumbled a bit because people were questioning his fire. The New York Giants did their due diligence at the combine this year in an interview.
A lot of gambling, not showing your poker face. You know what I mean?
So Steve, with Carolina's up, so what? Go ahead.
Kayvon Thibodeau's outfit is the shit. I'm looking at it right now, and this dude has a ruby-lined tux.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Very motivated for New York Giants defense. They gave up 4.7 yards per play last year, second worst in the NFL.
And the Giants were very aware of what people were saying about Thibodeau as well. And so they leaked this story to other general managers in the league, that it was one of the all-time worst interviews they'd ever had. I should have known, right? At the time. And there was no way he's going to the Giants, and now he's a New York Giant. But this guy reminds me a lot of Sean Merriman when he came out. Sean Merriman was the defensive rookie of the year and had 39.5 sacks in his first.
All right, so anyway, get back to the draft now. So, Steve has said that the Carolina pick is going to be interesting for the Steelers. I think, and I'm assuming that you mean because of the quarterback and Carolina not being happy with Sam Darnold could be the first team that picks a quarterback.
They shouldn't be. I feel so bad for Darnold, but he completely crashed and burned.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was definitely not set up for success. He had no chance.
No. You know when it was over too, when you remember that Monday night game where they had him mic'd up and he told the offensive coordinator that he's seeing ghosts out there?
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, oh man.
That was bad.
Go use that degree of yours because you're not going to be playing football too much longer.
He'll still be a backup somewhere. He's probably got another good 10 years if he can morph into a backup.
He's a strong backup. He's a serviceable backup. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can start becoming those transition guys, then I think you're. I mean, think about like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Who's that? Who's the other one that was really all over the place? I can't think of his name.
Who was Pittsburgh? Who was Pittsburgh's?
Josh McCown. Oh, go ahead. Pittsburgh.
No, like for 20 years.
Charlie.
They
Patch.
had. That's it. Yeah, Charlie Patch. That's probably. I mean, that's got to be one of the most famous backups as backups go.
Mm-hmm.
The man just kept on taking their money. Yeah.
But he did the job, man. Charlie Batch was a good quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he wasn't great, wasn't a Hall of Famer by any stretch, but he did the job, man. He did the job.
He did, and when a quarterback went down for the Steelers, like it was really no big deal. Like the fans were happy about it because it's still Batch. He could make a couple of plays.
Yeah. But yeah, now we're getting into a fun part of the draft. So we're getting into a spot where we have teams. We have really 3 teams in a row that, like 3 or 4 picks in a row that could potentially be quarterback picks. We have the Panthers, whose pick is in, by the way. So we'll be going to that pick live in a second. So. So, Pete, just for the viewers at home, let's wait until my feed announces the pick because I'm sharing the video, and I have a slight delay.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't know until.
Trying to punk me and shit. Fucking.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I just made you look like you were Nostradamus, Peastradamus. Yes, and this is Josh McCown. But going back here, so the Panthers definitely need a quarterback. Or I should say, there should be in the market for one. I think the Giants. We say the Giants have the pick at 7, or is it Chicago? It's kind of unclear on my feed.
Chicago picked it up, I believe. I'll check here to make sure that I'm telling you the right shit.
Yeah, but I know there's a trade. Then you have the Falcons, who've got rid of Matty Ice, so they're going to be in the market for a quarterback. And then you've got the Seahawks at 9, who have lost Russell Wilson, so they're going to be in the market for a quarterback.
That was all their fault too.
I'm not. As good as Russell Wilson is, Russell Wilson has not won a playoff game since he took his big contract.
Well, I think that, and this isn't usually the case. I know that this is some overused excuse, but I think that it was Pete Carroll's fault more than it was Russ's. Russ wanted or say on Seattle's offense, and Pete not doing it. And, well, homie's going to leave if he does not get. They say let Russ cook. That's not Russ cooking.
No. But at the same time, when you have, this gets back to, you have a quarterback that makes that much money, it gets really, really difficult to be able to bring in the talent that you need, and you need to be able to draft really well, which they didn't do. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the defense fell apart, is because they couldn't afford to pay everybody.
So we get any more comments from the peanut gallery out there?
Just Josh McCown was the quarterback that we're thinking of. That's kind of like the journeyman. Alex Smith is another one. Neglected to mention him. He's proved to be a very, very good bridge quarterback, and those bridge quarterbacks are extraordinarily important if they understand that they are a bridge quarterback. I'm not sure all quarterbacks in that role understand that they are bridge quarterbacks.
No, that's true. The key to being a good backup is just not having an ego.
Yeah. You got to be willing to do what's best for the team.
Yeah.
All right.
And you got to be in the back.
Here we go, folks. Carolina pick is in. Steeler fans.
Oh.
Steeler fans are nervous.
With the 6th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Ikem Ekwonu.
Oh,
Ike. North Carolina State.
Ike Ekwonu.
Yep.
So we saw Aiden Hutchinson earlier tonight stay in his home state. Ikem Ekwonu staying in his adopted home state of North Carolina as he's taken by the Panthers. Ekwonu, his teammate Grant Gibson, said one of the scariest things ever is watching him in pregame. Doesn't listen to music, sits there, stares into space. He looks terrifying. Meaning of his name. He has a huge personality. Let's get to know Panthers.
You know what it reminds me of?
Nice, right?
You know what his outfit kind of reminds me of? Coming to America.
My full name is Ikem Ekwonu, and that means my effort will not be in vain. So Igbo translation comes from the country of Nigeria.
No, the first one. Just
like coming to America.
Yeah, I did plays growing up. Throughout elementary school, I did them, and I was always in chorus throughout middle school and in high school. I was selling Cutco knives for a little under 3 months. Yeah. I think I made closer to $4,000 doing it, and football season started, so I had to stop.
Oh, dude, his agent's been fronting him money. That's for sure. All right, so now we got New York back on the clock again. So New York and Chicago traded the picks. Pick went to New York.
They're still on the clock.
Yeah. So pancakes.
What's that?
Oh man, I got a chat from someone from one of the viewers, Ivy, who said we should be covering the Johnny Depp trial because it's been juicy. Wow.
Well, Johnny Depp is its own book and will be a fantastic tiger like documentary down the road. I believe this bitch is crazy. All right, fully crazy. So what? She's not wrong.
So I mean, while we wait for the pick to come in for New York, who again could go all over the place, whose side are you on in that? Are you siding on Johnny Depp? You siding on Amber Heard?
Johnny Depp. She threatened to take a shit in his bed. End of story. Johnny Depp.
Funny story. My friend told me today he was watching the stream, and one of the guys in the stream. You know what? I'm just gonna read it to you. So one of the guys in the stream got banned for 24 hours because some guy said Depp is spoiled. Some guys would pay to have Amber Heard take a dump in their bed.
It's true that comes up. I don't know. I need my bubble water. Better.
Oh man, I don't know, man. That whole thing. I remember watching it and just seeing some of the trial and seeing some of the stuff that Johnny's been saying. Like, dude came out there to testify with, and no fucks were given. He just went full Johnny Depp in the middle of that testimony. Like,
does need to be said though. That Johnny Depp is no fucking treat to live with.
No.
All right. Crazy too.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I think he's crazy like Marlon Brando crazy.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I collect art that's not really art, it's just dog shit. Whatever. And Amber Heard's a homicidal maniac. It's two different types. Crazy. One's eccentric. One should be impatient.
So I mean, I've only been loosely following the trial, and I know the pick is in, but we'll get back to that in a second. But it's like, what is this like a civil trial? It's like he's suing her, or like what the heck's going on? I need some backup.
from what I understand, and dude, I got so in detail, but from what I understand,
all right, we're gonna put a pause on there. We're gonna put a pause on it real quick because the pick is in.
The 2022 NFL Draft.
Let's see who the Giants are gonna take.
The New York Giants select Evan Neal.
Evan Neal, back-to-back linemen, back-to-back chunk boys. I love it.
Neal was a second-team All-American semifinalist for the Outland Trophy.
That dude is just looking dapper, man. He's coming in there.
They
just
put a
like,
whole lot of down, didn't they?
And he is a no-nonsense guy.
You watching this dude walk up, man? I mean, it's just a straight classy look.
One of the most difficult things to do is to get Evan to smile. Now, he's plenty personable. Right.
What's up?
But he is business-oriented, 6'7", over 350 pounds. He looks like he's 250 at times.
Yeah, right, Pete?
He is a large man from a large family.
I think Matty P has been frozen. All right, so we'll let Matt figure out his whole internet shtick. Yeah. I hope he comes back, man, because I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen with this trial and trying to learn a little bit more about it, because I'll be honest, like with myself, I have a tendency not to.
We're back, motherfucker.
Oh, he's back. Amber Heard. So what the heck is happening at this trial, man?
All right, so she accused him of being abusive. From, again, what I understand, don't quote me. And he's like, I'm a woman beater. No, I'm not. You've been whipping the shit out of me. I'm going to sue you for defamation. And the defamation lawsuit is for $50 million. And now there's been a petition, too. There's been a petition for a while to get Amber Heard off of the cast of Aquaman, which on one hand, yeah, get her out of the movie, but on the other hand, don't make it. Like,
don't make the movie. Oh. So this is all. So this is just like a big civil trial.
I guess that's what it comes down to, and it's just the media circus. It is, and there's, and whoever mentioned this trial on the mentions there, like, you could base your entertainment, an hour of entertainment a day off of this. There's some dumb shit that's been going on.
Ooh, we have a trade.
Tell me about this trade.
So what's up, Jeffrey? You're the one that's popping off on the saying that there's a trade. What's going on?
Oh.
Do you have anything on your NP?
Not yet. The pick's in for Atlanta, but did the Jets
trade in for Atlanta?
I think they traded down, and Seattle's going to be. Yep, there was a 3-way trade.
Oh, woo. So Atlanta is trading down. Seattle's trading up.
No, Atlanta's pick is in.
Okay.
And then I got the Seahawks are on the clock right now, which that changed. No, that was out of the trade. That was probably from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Miami. There were a number of trades here.
Yeah, and I think they're all historic trades. Jeff, you got me excited. Yeah, Mr. Matty Ice went to the Colts earlier in the year. He was traded. I would say like about a month ago, like right in the beginning of like free agency and stuff. He got traded over there.
Who now? Sorry, I was updating something here.
Mm-hmm. So who do we got here? So this could be Malik. This could be Malik. This could be the guy that is the team that is going to reach.
And this is a big reach, like a big reach at number 8.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at it this way. Who's a better quarterback coming out? Malik or Lamar Jackson? Because that's probably the closest comp right now.
Well, Lamar came out on fire.
Yeah.
So
and Lamar went.
Are you suggesting that?
Am I suggesting that Malik is as good as Lamar Jackson? No.
Well, I guess that's to be determined, though, right?
Yeah.
NFL
So
draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Drake London.
Drake London.
You got the pick?
Yeah, Drake London, wide receiver.
Yep.
Drake London was
Woo. That's an interesting
player of the
pick.
year on offense in the Pac-12, despite
I mean,
missing
they
the
definitely
final 4
needed
games
wide
of the
receiver,
season
but
with
they
a
needed it.
freshman. He was a two-sport
They needed it.
star
They
in
were.
high school, played a little bit of basketball during his time.
But here's the
at
thing,
USC
Drake
as
London
well.
over
This guy,
Garrett
big
Wilson.
receiver.
Over,
he's a guy who they've lost Julio Jones in the last few years. Calvin Ridley, their wide
Olave?
receiver, suspended for the year for gambling. And Drake London is a guy with tremendous athleticism. And I mentioned his basketball exploits.
Do you think he's better than the Ohio State wideout?
USC for a year and then decided, hey, I got to commit full time to this football thing. But I see his game, the game of basketball.
I mean, that's.
Is he a straight down the line or a route runner? Because that's the most important. What's that?
I mean, he's definitely an athlete. I mean, we're watching the highlights of him right now.
That's exactly what Drake
Yeah, Chad is saying that, Steve is saying that we probably could see a run of wide receivers happening here.
To go with him as we watch Drake's walk.
Seattle's
All
going
right,
to be
thank you.
very
We got
interesting
Dwan
one.
and Cindy here. You guys are watching your son
I
Drake
don't
right
think that they're
now
going to
hug
reach
the
for a
commissioner
quarterback,
of the
even though
NFL as he's
they're
just
going
been
to
drafted
need
by
one
the Falcons. What does it mean
they
to
got
Dwan?
Russell Wilson in the second
means a whole
round, so I
lot.
figured
He
they're
put
probably
in
going
a lot of work
to
and
sit
a lot
and
of
wait.
effort to get here, and it's just been a blessing. The ride
Wow.
has been phenomenal.
Taking
Right
Drake
before
London
he went
over,
out there, you did a
Treylon
handshake that you've been
Burks,
doing
Garrett
ever since
Wilson,
his first time at
Jameson
USC,
Williams,
and you do
who
it
was a
when
beast
it
in
means something
Alabama,
special, right? But this is
Chris
different because your
Olave,
son's now
like,
an NFL
there-
player.
There's just
Yeah, I have no words.
I guess with all these wide
Like,
receivers,
jumped
it's a
up.
deep wide receivers class, wide receiver
it's
class.
his dream,
So
and
it could
it's
be
amazing
that
to hear with him,
obviously they had them
to
higher
see
up on
this.
the board, but
How would you describe your emotions?
I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm
I
so
think
happy
this
for
is
him.
a
So
case
he's
where,
worked so hard.
and you know it happens a few times in every draft, where one scouting department might just know something that very few others do.
Yeah.
You know, but that's got to be the only thing that they're like, no, this will be a splash, but we really should take this guy. I don't know. It's the only explanation. This is also where you might end up seeing Kyle Hamilton or Trent McDuffie going too with Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, the Legion of Boom is officially dead. Bobby Wagner's gone. You know, they need to build that defense. Drew Lock is serviceable for a year. I don't want him to be the quarterback. I want Baker to go there so he's off Cleveland Browns' hands. But
that's right. I can't believe you guys sold your souls for Deshaun Watson, man.
I'm not disappointed.
I am.
I'm not.
When it was supposed to be Miami, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, "Don't do it! Do not give up that much for someone who may never play in the NFL again."
That's true. And the only thing I could say to that is, if this crushes my Cleveland Browns, we've already been fucked up for so long.
Yeah.
Going back home. True statement, man.
You are absolutely right, man. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, with Deshaun Watson, I want him to fail. And I don't say that very often. I want him to fail. And it's not so much that I want him to fail, even so much for, his, abuse or whatever. I want him to fail because of how long I had to listen to, oh, Miami has to do everything they can to get him. And Miami can't do, like, I just got sick and tired of it because, again, teams win. Good quarterback, like, yeah, you need to have a good quarterback, but the best teams are the ones who always win the Super Bowl. They're consistently good every single year. Can a QB make a difference? Yes. Can a QB on his own win a Super Bowl? No. And we're talking about a quarterback who is considered a top 5, but his last year he won 4 games.
Oh, picks in for Seattle. Well, I don't know if it's been in or not.
No. It'll be coming up on my feed soon.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this could be interesting. There's a couple of good offensive linemen, and that's one area that Seattle's really, really struggled with. So, if you're not sold on a quarterback, I would probably start building up your linemen. There's some good linemen that are still available. I know Neal's gone, but Trevor Penning is still there. Trevor Penning is a monster. I think he's going to have a really good career. Although he is coming out of Northern Iowa, and I think that's been maybe I'm thinking of Iowa. Even Charles Cross, he's a young guy. He's got a lot of room to develop. He's still available. A couple of centers are available. Like I think going an offensive lineman is where I would go if I were Seattle. You could make it. Oh, go ahead.
You were mentioning Linderbaum. It was Linderbaum that you mentioned from Iowa.
Trevor Penning.
He's another offensive lineman from Iowa because they're saying like the best.
He's from Northern Iowa.
Oh, Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
Best prospects for Seattle, according to NFL.com, is Kyle Hamilton, Trent McDuffie, and Linderbaum. Which, like you said, offensive line. Ain't nothing better than an anchor of your offensive line. Get a good center.
Yeah, a center's definitely a very critical position. If you have a good center, it covers up so much. Like, especially nowadays when A-gap blitzing is becoming much more important than ever before. So yeah, I think if you have a center, it can actually make up a huge. If you can have slightly less guards, like you can have lesser guards and still have if you have a really good center, because it can cover up a lot of those mistakes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting here for the feed.
You'll be seeing.
What's up?
Yep. What are the Cowboys going to do?
What are the Cowboys going to do?
Up this draft this year.
Do the Cowboys even have a pick? Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is.
The Cowboys would probably go either wide receiver or offensive line, I think. Let's see what Roger has to say for the Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, he's at the podium.
Charles
Cross. Cross.
Mississippi State.
The offensive tackle.
So Charles Cross goes from start Vegas to Las Vegas and now on his way to Seattle.
You're gonna need to.
Mike Leach in Mississippi State.
Is he? What size?
I feel like a little man here.
I don't know. I'm looking at him like visually right now, and it's just a large man. Again, another guy coming in with a dapper suit. No tie. Got a couple chains. Got the high collar.
He's from Laurel, Mississippi. Played in
it's a good color and everything. Not that really that into judging suits, but this is a nice plastic look,
in this class. So remember, 89% of his snaps were in pass protection this past year. So he is so used to that Mike Leach offense in college. I think he
All right.
steps in right away.
I got to step away for 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Is Drew Lock the quarterback moving forward? People in Seattle, the Seattle folks making the decisions believe in Drew Lock. But if you're going to draft the quarterback, in my opinion,
I think this is a pretty good pick
next year and see what Lock
overall.
does.
And I know Player will be coming back shortly. Cowboys will probably take the best available. They really don't have many weaknesses. Yeah, that's true. They don't have a lot of weaknesses, but they don't have a lot of strengths either. They're just kind of like a middling team. And yeah, they get into the playoffs every year, but let's face it, their division hasn't been exactly exemplary the past few years. I think, yeah, Cowboys probably, you're right, Steve, best available. I don't see them doing anything else. Really interested in some teams like the Steelers, who don't have a lot of weaknesses and they have some strengths, but they do have some deficiencies in some critical areas. Quarterback, for example. I used to think that the Steelers were really, really stacked for wide receiver, but I think they have some holes to fill in that wide receiver area, especially losing Juju. And not sure what's going to happen with Deontay Johnson, and Chase Claypool could be on his way out in Pittsburgh if he doesn't get his act together. So that's going to be very interesting. Baltimore is another one that is going to be extraordinarily interesting to see. And this is, like I said, this is kind of like a weird draft. I said this before. This is a weird draft in that you don't have the absolute bluest of the blue chip talent. What you have is a bunch of solid talent, and you have potential. Like, a team's board could have only 16 picks or that are worthy of a first round grade, and another team could have, upwards of like 32 to 38 picks that are having first round grades. So it's a very, very interesting draft, and not as exciting as some of the other drafts that we had in the past, but still fun watch, still fun to cover. So it looks like the Jets pick is in, so we'll be transitioning to the live coverage. Chad, any predictions of what the Jets are going to do? Yeah, Baltimore is pretty stacked, but I don't think they're elite stacked. I just think that they don't have a lot of weaknesses either. I mean, right now the best team in that division is, and I hate to say it, it's the Bengals. The Bengals are the best team in that division. And one of the things that separates them is that they have some of that high-end talent, as opposed to where Baltimore, they just have a lot of solid talent across the board. But I also think that they have a quarterback and an offensive situation that teams are starting to figure out. And you're starting to see some of the things falling off, the wheels falling off on their sheen. Like, I know Hollywood Brown became a little bit outspoken and everything, so I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but let's check in with Uncle Rogers.
With the 10th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
Wide receiver, Ohio
Garrett
State.
Wilson, wide receiver.
Here I am.
Hey, did you see the Jets got their pick
This
in?
seems like a couple of really strong picks for the Jets.
They did.
Had a couple of top 10 picks, 10 picks from the Seahawks in the Jamal Adams.
What do you think, man? What's your analysis?
Garrett's
dad,
Kenny, played basketball.
I'm glad that
Davidson. He is not the all-time leading scorer. Do you guys know who the all-time leading scorer Davidson is?
I hope that puts the Debo speculation to rest. I don't want I think that would be bad for both Debo's career and for the Jets. No.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
That's my city. Oh, no. That's the
growing. I mean, he's about 5'11" inches, but extremely athletic. As a football player, guys, this is what he brings.
Before you came back to us, I was, and I'll let the audio run, or the video run for Garrett Wilson, because he's a hell of an athlete, and I think he's going to be a playmaker in the NFL. But he's also going to the Jets, and Jets have, I mean, Robert Saleh, I think he's a good coach.
He's a good defensive coordinator. I don't know that I'd call him a good head coach.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be more Brian Flores or he's going to be more Bill Belichick. I mean, it could go either way.
With his ability, that ball's up in the air. It's his football because of his ability.
I don't see a whole lot of Bill Belichick.
Going at full speed. Everything to him looks easy on the football field.
What I was saying in wrapping conversation with Chad is, we're talking about
say the numbers that Garrett put up this past year. 12 touchdowns, second in the Big Ten, over 1,000
and
yards.
My position with Baltimore is that I think the best team in the division,
all right, Reese, thank you so much.
Central,
we got Candace
North,
and Kenny here. And Candace,
as
you watch your son get this call, he's now
is the Bengals. And I think the reason why the Bengals are the best team in that division, obviously right now, is not just because of Joe Burrow, but Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe, as much as I hate to admit it, Joe Mixon. They have a lot of high-end talent, and they have a pretty solid roster everywhere else, especially defensively. Baltimore,
Super Bowl for a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Baltimore, my position was that their sheen has kind of wore off a little bit. That they aren't teams are starting to figure out Lamar Jackson. Hollywood Brown was kind of starting to come out, and looks like there was a trade. So I see that New Orleans is now on the clock.
Were they supposed to be?
No, they were not. Washington was on the clock.
Right.
So New Orleans looks like they took some of their draft capital and they traded up. Wow.
Could they take Malik?
They could.
They could take or Kenny.
Yeah.
This could be a back move right here, James.
This could be the beginning of the NFL draft for us.
Woo! Just excited.
All right, man. I got a homework assignment for you while I continue talking about Baltimore. Find out what the details are on this trade, and what's going to happen. So,
I'll work on.
Yeah, as I was saying about Baltimore, though, my Uncle Steve thinks that Baltimore, they're stacked and they fell off a little bit last year because of a bunch of injuries. I would say yes and no. I still think that the Bengals have more upside than Baltimore. Baltimore is kind of like that steady pro, but I don't think they're quite all-star, and I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team any longer. And like I said, part of it is I think their offense is starting to get figured out a little bit, and I think there's some pieces that are missing on defense. Now, obviously, I could be completely wrong, but I still think it's Cincinnati's division to lose. That team just, I think, learned how to. They figured it out last year, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Looks like they're targeting some cornerback from Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's who the Saints are going after?
Saints are looking for. And where are the Eagles picking right now? Because I think that's where the trade was.
The Eagles are picking 15th. So if you remember, the Eagles had the original pick, and then they traded. I think they traded their pick to. They did a bunch of swapping with New Orleans. So I think that's what New Orleans is doing to move up the clock or move up the board. But do we know why? What was traded?
No, I'm checking that out. That was the first thing that came up. I'm gonna try to dig into this a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what I can find here. Let's see what I can find on the trade front on my resource. I'm running out of screens. I've got like 3 or 4 screens going on, and I need more.
Serious.
All right, guys, man. I know the pick is in. I got something for you. It is. I just heard it today. You guys have probably all heard it before, but I'll play it for you in a second. All right, so I'm checking the draft trade tracker right now, and the Washington Guardians, I believe.
The Guardians are up? Or the Commanders. That's what
Commanders,
it is.
Yeah, it's Commanders. It's the Cleveland Guardians. There's no longer Cleveland Indians on baseball.
Yeah, which I thought was dumb until it was explained. I'm like, if you're going to change your name, but all right. It's a cool name. There's 2 really big statues, I guess, at the entrance to a bridge in Cleveland. They're like historic. Like, we're not supposed to know about them, and that's why everyone's like, Guardians. But I guess it has something to do with Cleveland. I think the Commanders is much more.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Until you find out that Commanders is another name for a slave owner.
Yeah, well, in Washington, D.C., the capital of our patriotism,
the NFL draft,
they named the football team.
32 teams
tell
and
me.
Fans. We've got a similar time 2 weeks from tonight when we announce the 2022.
We're listening to Roger Goodell do his Roger Goodell thing.
This year's schedule will have a new twist, as our Thursday night games will be carried by a new partner.
He's definitely Goodell.
Amazon Prime Video.
What's Roger Goodell
doing?
doing?
Chargers and Chiefs season ticket members James Debo.
Wow, this NFL trade tracker
also here
is worthless.
It's Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony
really?
Gonzalez.
Yeah, they have all the old the trades that have already happened. They're not talking about the details of this trade. So either they don't know it, or someone is not updating the app.
Amazon. You may recognize this guy right here next to me. He's going to be helping me make this announcement.
I'm going to go and check
Video,
out
which
here.
Will be airing on week 2 of the NFL season, September 15th.
All right, I hear a lot of talking, but I don't hear a lot of picking. Let's go, people.
Yes.
And I guess you can tell probably
this is getting slow. See, this is the thing, though. Now people have to, because there's not a crazy amount of talent.
Yeah.
Like, people got to think about their picks.
And I tell you what, Austin, if you want my opinion about this game, whoever has
Instead
the
of saying,
ball last is going to win this
4-3 and
game.
is going to get us 100 receptions. That's the one. Get that
one. It doesn't get much better than this. It doesn't get much better than this. Thursday night football. You got 2 high-powered teams battling it out.
It's going to
be epic. It's going to be an amazing thing. Even if you don't rock with the Chargers are cheap, I know you got me on your fantasy team, so there's no point.
On ESPN.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can see who the pick is
now. Tell you
now.
what, we're looking forward to it. This rivalry goes back 62.
Like I said, I'm streaming it off of my computer.
Every time these 2 teams get together, it's explosion.
So it looks like, I'm just going to spoil it because these guys are taking way too long. Chris Olave looks like it is the pick.
That's what just popped up on the screen. Ohio State, 6'1", 187.
Yeah. You see the schedule release Thursday.
He's another guy.
This
shifty
seems
guy.
like
a variety of platforms. Back to the commissioner.
The Washington Commanders have traded.
Well, that's good because they need to, pair somebody with Mike Thomas.
The 11th pick in the 2022 NFL
With
draft.
him coming back,
The New Orleans
you
Saints
don't know if he's gonna come back 100% healthy or not. I think that was a move to bolster their wide receiving corps.
So back-to-back Ohio State receivers
this
go
is
with Garrett Wilson going to the
this is
Jets
going to be
with the 10th overall
yeah.
pick.
They
And now
definitely
Chris
need to
Olave,
start rebuilding some
very
talent, and
smooth
now they're in
wide
the
receiver
post Sean
from
Payton
Ohio
era.
State.
So this is going to be
Really
an
burst
interesting
onto the scene playing special teams, blocking and punt against Michigan when he was a
transition
young
for
player
them.
and evolved into a three-time coaches all Big Ten selection, first team.
I don't think it's going to be pretty.
An explosive guy.
I'm telling you that.
Saints now with a new head coach, Dennis Allen, replacing
I
Sean Payton's got
I think
a
it's
little
a
something to
decent
work
pick.
with Olave.
I mean, I'm not in love with the pick. I think there's a lot of places that they could have gone with it. So, oh, snap. It looks like the Vikings or the Lions have traded their pick over to the Vikings, and the Vikings are up. That's a good question. So, chat, Steve is saying, why would anybody trade up for a wide receiver in this draft?
It's an Ohio State record.
I'm right there with you.
In the NFL, and this guy will scare you to death. And how about this, Des? Now pairing
You
up with
said
another
why
former Ohio
why
State
would
Buckeye,
they trade up for a wide receiver?
In this draft.
That's true. No, I got no answer for that guy because it makes absolute sense.
Mm-hmm.
They for him. That better be 100 receptions and 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Detroit, yeah. So Detroit traded up with Minnesota. So at the very least, they swapped picks. I'm gonna see where. Wow, it looks like Detroit may have moved back into this round. So because they had their own pick earlier, and they picked Aiden Hutchinson, so they pushed all the way back into the round. Usually you do that for what position, Matt?
What do you mean? For quarterback?
Yeah. So do you think Detroit's going to pull the trigger on a quarterback?
I think that they're going to bask in the Jared Goff stink for another year.
Do you?
So I would say no to this one.
But why come all the way in from the second round, or from another round?
Because
they had another pick. They still have the 32nd overall pick from the Matthew Stafford trade.
That's true.
So Vikings completely just traded out of the first round. I don't see them having another pick in this round. So what's the game plan? I mean, and if they do take a quarterback, who do they take? I mean, Willis is a guy. I mean, you said that they want to roll the dice another year for on Goff, but Willis is probably going to need at least a year.
He is, but when that's quarterback controversy. Listen, Jared Goff's not that good to begin with, and then if you put a rookie there, which everybody expects to play because he's a first round pick, that's just the team. If Detroit does that, they've learned.
Oh, we lost the bearded wizard. We lost the bearded wizard.
I'm working on it.
He's back. He's back. Welcome back, bro.
Yep. Fucking cat. No,
hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. Where's Katie's wedding supposed to be at exactly in Texas? Do you have the city? I was hoping you remembered, man. Alligator shoes with the alligators still attached.
Hey, I told you, I sent you that picture, man, where I found him.
You did? Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
Oh, the Eagles are on the clock now.
Well, yeah, because the Lions pick is in.
The pick.
Yeah, we'll be transitioning over to the pick right now.
Oh, good.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 12th pick to the Detroit Lions.
I can't believe they moved back
up. With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams.
Kenny Pickett or Malik.
We're going to get our research people on that. I don't know.
No, the Lions pick a wide receiver.
They moved consecutively in the first round with Wilson, Olave, and now Jameson Williams, as the guys have mentioned.
The Lions took Jameson Williams, ACL in the wide receiver.
Game. He was having a big night
they reached
Georgia
way the fuck out there.
So there will be a recovery
they reached way out there.
What the hell?
Lions, Eagles,
Allen, Texas. Are you familiar with that?
Here in the first round. Speed is the name of
Are you familiar with Allen, Texas?
Electrifying.
And just to let you know how much the Detroit Lions
Allen?
think of his speed, they traded up from 32. The last time I can remember such a big move to go get a wide receiver was Julio Jones in the Atlanta Falcons. But I watched Jameson Williams. To me, the 19.9
my cat's fucking attacking me.
Part of it. It's after the catch.
That's hilarious.
Not many guys.
All right, review what you just said. You killed.
Or greatness down the field.
All right. So anyway, man, this is. I mean, Williams is a good player. Williams is. I'm not going to argue the point. I mean, I think he was the guy that got hurt this year for Alabama.
Auburn game, exactly.
And he's a good receiver.
Basically knocks the guy
I mean,
out.
just Alabama has been making getting some really good wide receivers.
Punt team
but
it makes a lot. I mean, you don't see this all the time. Anyway, had around golf.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have him there.
After the catch, he has a third gear. I mean, he's the closest thing to Tyreek Hill.
What about but trading all the way back up to 12 to get a wide receiver when there's so many wide receivers in this draft?
Earlier, he was the guy who was was really going to carry the load.
Let me just go through like all the names
ACL injuries
that we have here.
Much quicker than they have in recent years. We check in now with Pete
Jameis Williams, we know that Drake London gone, Garrett's gone. I think Treylon Burks is still out there.
Had to ask was when could he regain that speed and regain
Jahan
that
Dotson
burst. I talked
Penn
to Rocky
State.
Arsenault, his agent this morning. He said Jameson Williams will be cleared to run full speed July 1st.
The pick's in.
Jameson Williams' camp has said all along he'll be
ready
is
in for Philly,
training camp.
This is going to be interesting to see what Philly does.
Is do they want to risk bringing him back on the early side,
or
do what teams have done with guys who've torn their ACLs in bowl games, put him on the PUP list.
No, they're gonna stick with what they got. And honestly, they should.
It was a likely track for Jameson Williams here.
They
should. The recovery's going well. One of the most explosive players in the draft should be full speed, but it may not.
I tell you what would be a good pick for them is Kyle Hamilton. This is a great place to get value for Kyle Hamilton.
Jameson's family, big track family, brothers, parents.
They got this pick from
at Alabama, 79 catches, better than
from Houston. Who got the pick from
fifth in the country?
Yeah,
and third most in the season, trailing only Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman Trophy in 2020, and Amari Cooper, the former Cowboy.
Going back to the pick that Jameson Williams. There's so many wide receivers out there that are so close together. Like even going all the way down to like a John Mitchell. Just, I don't know. I would not have traded back into the first round in order to get that pick.
Not that far in, you know?
No, especially knowing I have another pick in the first round at 32 already.
Well, they got it at 19. We're talking, or Yeah.
No,
32.
I'm still talking about the Lions.
Yeah, I noticed.
Oh man, Steve, I hope they don't for your sake. Steve has two really good comments here. So Williams is the best wide receiver in this draft. He only fell because he blew out his ACL. But again, to your point earlier, Steve, why would you trade back up to get a wide receiver in this draft? Then Steve's prediction right now that Baltimore is going to take Jordan Davis, maybe the best overall player in this draft. He's a beast as a defensive tackle coming out of Georgia. And that could make Baltimore... That could make me start to sway a little bit more in Baltimore. I'm still going to side on... I think that they are... I don't think they're as good as they were a couple of years ago. I think there's some cracks in the veneer, but that could help out a little bit, I would say.
Right. Cracks in veneer, if thought about positively, would be experience. So
yeah,
depends on how you take it.
Yeah, I mean, where I'm really talking about is, again, like offensively. I think you're starting to see some of the limitations of Lamar Jackson. Teams are starting to figure him out a little bit more.
Such as the NFL does, though, you know?
But that's what I mean. But I don't know if Lamar Jackson has the quarterback tool set to overcome it. Like someone like people like started figuring out Patrick Mahomes this year, for an example, right? But Patrick Mahomes was still Patrick Mahomes and still did very much Patrick Mahomes things for the most part. This is why this is going to be such an interesting year for the Bengals. Even though I just got done saying that they are the best team in that division, people who now have a full year of tape on Jamar Chase and
Joey Burrow.
Yeah. So teams are going to be able to figure them out, and we'll find out quickly, how good they are.
I'll tell you this. The only team that's not going to be that division's winner is Pittsburgh this year.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, come on. Let's be fair. The team that's least likely to win the division is Cleveland.
Why would you say that? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Well,
I mean,
because they have Deshaun Watson. Well, first of all, Deshaun Watson has to play. And the last time Deshaun Watson played, he won 4 games.
You can't overcome a team. You cannot overcome a...
But yeah, but that's what everybody is telling me. That's what all the media says. You have to have the quarterback. You can't win without that quarterback. The quarterback is everything. So what is it? Is it the team or is it the quarterback? Plus, I'm actively rooting against...
Well, it's the team, as we've been saying the whole time.
And so, all that considered, he hasn't played in a year. He's got all these things hanging over him, and big money quarterbacks, it's a struggle. And he's played in a soft division for a number of years. So I don't know how he's going to fare against dealing with like Pittsburgh and Baltimore 2 times
Commissioner
a year.
Roger Goodell about to make this pick. He's joined by 6 local high school tackle and flag captains from across Clark County.
With the top 5 NFL line, that alleviates some of the concern. But I just think that the team was built to do good for Baker. Deshaun Watson is...
All right. We got the pick coming in for the Eagles.
Joining me for the Eagles
Definitely.
are 6 high school tackle and flag football captains from teams across Clark County and Las Vegas.
All right.
All right, we're waiting. They're doing some high school football team captains and stuff.
They truly exemplify the NFL's values of respect, integrity.
Talking about the Eagles pick. Right now, the Ravens pick is in. We're talking about the Ravens, right?
No, we're talking about the Eagles pick. They haven't announced it yet.
Oh.
Houston Texans have traded.
Yeah, it's on here. Quit with that flag football shit. Fuck them.
Flag football's fun, dude.
With the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL
All right,
draft.
I like flag football.
Philadelphia Eagles select Jordan Davis.
Ooh, the Eagles took Jordan Davis. Georgia. They saved you, Steve. That was a good pick for the Eagles.
You want to talk about a fella who'll be able to put down some cheesesteak. There's your guy right there.
Yeah, solid pick.
Big Jordan Davis, but not just a big guy. He has the potential as he hugs his head coach at Georgia, Kirby Smart.
Do you really give it an A+? Because I'm a grade this. Let's see who is
I would say it's a good A pick. I mean, it fills a position of need for them.
He's a terror on the field, but off the field, it's a side that doesn't really show up on tape.
You're never going to go wrong. This is just like one of those solid. We talk about home runs versus like strikeouts and everything. This is a solid double.
It just became one of those things that I feel like I don't have a great game.
Strong base hit.
Yeah.
So you're saying
she always called me the chosen one.
Maybe B. I think B is probably a better.
Something that has always.
I mean, there's a really such thing as an A pick.
Like you are the chosen one.
I think that there have been a handful of A picks. Automatic, like
I was kind of
going to the Hall of Fame in 10 to 12 years. Like a handful of those.
She was like,
you're talking like,
I'm going to take a ride in the car.
I mean, when we rate picks, we have to rate them in, okay, what's the team need?
She dropped me off.
Versus,
she was like, you got to get out.
What's the team need and what's the players available? Did the team give up too much for them? Like there's a lot more that has to go into a pick. Like and in this case, I think where they picked, who they picked. I mean, it's probably an A pick. It based solely off of what they did this year in this draft. I'm not looking like 5 years down the road. I think it was a good move, solid move.
I agree.
I tell you what, dude. His mom.
So their defense gets.
Jordan Davis's mom is pretty good looking.
Yeah?
Yeah, she ain't bad.
What's the number? And not the overall number, our number. What's the number?
Oh, man. You know what? It's hard to get an accurate picture because I can't see the full circle, but I would give the face like the face is a good 7. You know?
Let me ask you this.
What's up? You froze on me, P.
Have you ever have you seen Luka Doncic's mother?
Yes. Yeah.
You want to talk about him to be my stepson.
Yes. Yes. Luka's mom is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Wow, dude. Teams are just cruising through. So we got the Ravens pick in. It looks like Houston's pick is in. And Washington is now on the clock at 16. So what do you think the Ravens are going to do?
Yeah, we have 2 picks in. The Ravens?
Yeah. What do you think the Ravens are going to do?
I think that their defense is solid enough right now. If you want Lamar to prove himself, put enough weapons around him. How's their offensive line?
It's hurting a little bit. They could probably use a tackle or a center. I mean, I think they can go up a little bit. I tell you what's a scary thought for all the Steeler fans out there listening is them getting Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, that's true. And I was actually just going to ask because I don't recall whether or not the Ravens were beat. I know that they had a rushing defense that was really good. Mm-hmm. I don't remember whether or not they got beat over the top or not. It could be a very good pick for him.
Yeah, it could be a good pick. I mean, he's going to be a nice clean up. Another scary pick would be Tyler Linderbaum.
Yep.
Steve, is Tyler Linderbaum the guy that you don't want them to draft? You don't want the Steelers to draft because he's rapidly heading toward the Steelers right now.
Oh, all right. On my end, they just announced the pick, dude.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Wow,
Ravens. Did they? Am I reading that right? They took Kyle Hamilton.
They took Kyle Hamilton.
Man, that's just going to make that defense even stronger.
That was an A pick.
Yeah.
All right, that was like. You talk about A picks. The way it's explained here, B is the best mobile, A is the best prospect overall. Which
Jordan Davis, if they
Kyle
now the Ravens
right now is the highest rated
in the 2022
NFL player in the draft.
The Baltimore Ravens.
So I'm streaming the announcement right
Kyle
now.
Hamilton, defensive back.
That's an interesting pick. I mean, I guess it was a
Jordan
bit
Davis
of a
would really fit with the Ravens.
weakness
Kyle
of their
Hamilton does too. This is a really interesting dude. He had his own podcast at Notre Dame. He's really smart in the name, image, and likeness for
really
college players are now able to make money, and he is a remarkably versatile
I'm hearing
player.
from
Mike McDonald, the former Michigan
I asked a
defensive
question in the
coordinator,
chat.
who's now the
What's
defensive
happening
coordinator with the Ravens.
Linderbaum?
He'll have a lot of ways to use him.
I think they got one of the best 5 football players
they're saying
all the way
that
down
no,
to pick 14.
He's
and
too
it's just
small.
Because he's a safety that Kyle Hamilton wound up
he's too small. They already have a small lineman, but
for the position of safety,
they're comparing it to, I think,
he's 6'4",
Kenyon Green was the lineman that Pittsburgh picked last year. Correct me if I'm wrong on the name.
And now as a
the difference is Tyler Linderbaum is a lot better of a player than Green was coming out.
He can play single high, double high. He does so much.
I can see them possibly
multiple and versatile on the defensive side.
Dude,
and I love these two
we're 14 picks in and we haven't had a quarterback off the board.
I don't recall this ever happening.
Yeah.
That's the most impressive thing about Kyle Hamilton.
No.
How much ground he's able to
not in my lifetime, man.
Football speed. He may not time well at the 40, but when you put on the tape, this
now
guy
we get to see
gets
what
from point
Houston's
A
going
to
to be
point
doing
B as fast as anyone I've ever seen. And I was like, man, he's a 6'4" safety. I was thinking it's a big safety.
Well, they took
like Mel Blount,
they took the
Steve
back. Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU. And right now, their needs initially were defensive lineman, cornerback, and offensive lineman. They got their cornerback. So
when you see a guy that has leadership qualities like that,
that's what you want.
This pick comes from
to tell other guys, where they need to be, what they
from Miami through Philadelphia.
A guy that's just all quiet and that's just playing. You want a guy that can, getting people face and let them know, hey, we want to win.
I'm gonna read these to you, man, like for as they go. And the Commanders works. I'm gonna start calling them the commies because I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, let's start with a funny joke that happened over here, Reese. Because
we're trying.
We were saying that Kyle wears number 14. He's picked number 14, but what did he say about that?
All right. So yeah, I guess I could say this one right now. The Commanders actually got this pick from New Orleans through Philadelphia by way of Indianapolis.
Yeah, what I've noticed this year is that a lot of people or a lot of teams have. So over the past couple of years, teams like Miami and I think like Philly, they've been stockpiling picks. And then they moved all their picks out of this draft and are either moving down in this draft because there's so much depth, or they are moving up in the they're moving into next year's draft, which is supposed to be deeper.
Yeah, this is just kind of a dud draft, and I think that. All right.
Ooh.
Try to refresh. I think that they just announced the Texans pick.
Yeah, we got the Texans pick already. So we'll see how long until they announce it. Because right now they're interviewing Ice Cube. Yay! So.
Get him, Doughboy. Get him.
Doughboy. Oh, I remember that. That was a good movie. All right, pick is in.
I just found a book that has Cube on the back. It says Doe on the front.
Kenyon Green, guard, Texas A&M.
We got our first guard off the board. Kenyon Green.
So we go back to the offensive line after the tackles come off the board.
Texas A&M guy. Green, all right, well, shit. In the first round, they got
A&M, very versatile, tough defensive lineman. Kenyon Green's staying in the state of Texas. That's a little bit of a theme here.
And somebody
so far. So Kenyon
go ahead, Texas.
Will play for the
Texans. You're all right. You're good. I'm gonna call that like.
Thanks a lot for spending some time.
Like, do you give someone a B when it's actually solid, smart, sensible pick?
Picked in the first round.
You bet. That's for sure. It's great.
Could they have done anything better?
We appreciate it. The great Ice Cube here, president
of
Raider Nation, enjoying this draft in Las Vegas.
What would
the Washington Commanders
the best thing that they could have done in this spot? And if you can't think of anything better, then you have to give them an A.
Just a little lean.
But I think that overall you've got.
I do.
Oh yeah, and you're not
middle tier, everything on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You went. It's like they couldn't go wrong. You know, they could have just picked for another defensive back. Like,
I'm interested to see where Kenyon Green ranked. Yeah, he was the number 1 ranked guard. I mean, and again, yeah, he's the number 1 ranked guard. Another solid player coming out of the SEC. Can play for Texas A&M. So but I don't know if I would have necessarily taken him over Tyler Lindenbaum. Because I think in today's NFL, a center is more important than a guard.
Well, who's the center though?
Tyler Lindenbaum. Tyler Lindenbaum, Iowa. Excuse me. Now, I mean, he's not the biggest. He's 6'2". He's got 31-inch arms, 31 1/8-inch arms. That's actually pretty good for an interior lineman. I think they want most tackles to have like 9 or 32-inch arms at the least. And that's your from your shoulder to your tip.
Yeah.
He's a little light, at 296, and this is what Steve was worried about with Pittsburgh picking him up. Is he's just not big enough to last, and he can be overpowered. But in the right scheme, especially if you're trying to transition to like a zone running scheme, this is the kind of player that you want. You want someone who's a little bit lighter, a little bit more agile, because you're not looking to power people off the ball as much as you are looking to. Basically, you're attacking an edge. You're zone blocking. You're just trying to cut people off and letting the running back pick their lane. Now, I don't know if that's the type of offense that they're running, but that's a good place that Tyler would fit. Green, on the other hand, I think is a little bit. I think he's probably a little bit more stout. I don't know if he has like positional variability. I think he's kind of like locked into a guard. I don't think there's a way for him to kick out the tackle. He's much bigger. He's 6'4". He's got 34-inch arms. 323, big ass hands. Like, I don't know. I personally, in this draft with so much depth, I probably would not have taken a guard at this spot. I think there's other players out there that are probably would have been better. And Texan, let's be fair, Texans is they've got a lot of holes.
Yep. Wondering with Washington, I think this is another place that you're going to see wide receivers because they have Carson Wentz, I don't know if that was a very good decision of theirs, but he's going to need weapons, and they're already solid.
Washington, the Commanders could surprise us and be the first team to take a quarterback.
Man, if you do that, prepare the noose for Carson Wentz, like just now. The guy's gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?"
Carson Wentz is still living off of one really solid year in Philly, and he hasn't been the same since. So,
sad but true.
This would be a good time for them to get a quarterback because, looks like the pick came in, and it was a wide receiver.
I like being right sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's like the complete opposite of college. So, any guesses on the wide receiver?
Any guesses what?
On who the wide receiver is that they took?
Well, they announced it. It was Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, well, the chat didn't get to see it.
With the 16th pick.
So,
we'll
let spoiler Mahomes
select Jahan Dotson.
Wow, and the Chargers pick is already in. We might be able to get bed at a decent time tonight. We're cruising.
So Jahan Dotson, receiver from Penn State,
this is like
wide receiver
insane. We had a 3-hour video last year.
Yeah,
3 hours.
The big pick then, 1988. Tim Brown.
We're halfway through. How long have we been on?
Who's here tonight?
We've been live for 2 hours.
We'll go to try to give Carson Wentz a good target to go to.
All right. Well, then we're making normal time.
And maybe the best hands.
Seems like
this is an interesting pick for Washington. Again, Washington's one of those teams. I think they've got holes everywhere, and this is going to be a very tough organization for anybody to go to because they are in a whole world of trouble. Not only do they have a whole bunch of sexual harassment lawsuits coming out, they're now being accused of essentially pocketing money. They're acting like you when you worked at the toll booth, man.
Excellent
hands. The parking garage.
This is a fantastic
limitations is on that. We don't need to talk about it.
I think the statute of limitations is over, and you're not even in the state anymore.
Well, I robbed the shit out of him then. Okay.
You did, and I was there. I could be like, oh yeah, this ticket's $4. And
everyone in the gym knows this guy. They're throwing the ball to him, and he still finds a way to get open and make plays. I love Jahan Dotson. This is great.
Give our best to John's mother, Robin, who's fighting multiple myeloma as well. Our best to them is
I wasn't the first one to do it.
No, you learned.
That's not the point.
Next pick is in. The Chargers pick is already in.
With the 17th pick.
Yep.
You ready? Here we go.
NFL draft.
You got it?
Los Angeles
it's
Chargers
coming up right now.
Zion Johnson.
Zion Johnson. Another guard.
Gotta have
the big fellas are getting love, man.
They are. What's really interesting is
two of the last 3 picks have been guards with Kenyon
Trevor
Green
Penning
is
still out there.
And now Zion Johnson,
that beast tackle. He's a mauler too.
Transferring from Davidson.
You might see the Titans. The Titans are up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what better to do with that offense than give them another lineman to get that tank with dreads backfield, you know? He's amazing.
And look at him as
now, I actually think someone like Zion or Green would have been better for them because I think their tackle situation in Tennessee is okay, especially with I think Luwan's coming back.
Making that transition from Davis and BC and then making it now to the
so
NFL.
getting a guard to help solidify what they're doing. I don't think Lindenbaum is a good fit for them, particularly. Just the way that
he even came in the Senior Bowl and starred during the week. They asked him, Jim Nagy, the executive director, asked him, will you play some center? And he was outstanding all week, and he was the last guy off the field every single practice.
I don't think this one's going to affect Steelers fans out there as much, but that pick is actually rolling right around here. Once, you know, the Titans are done, Saints are on deck, and then it's the Steelers.
So here's a question that I have.
Move him around. And let's face it, the number one job of this organization is protect the guy behind him.
And very impressive. When he was in high school, he
so there's still a couple of good wide receivers out there.
Watching YouTube because he was a gamer and he needed more power, he needed more strength in his computer.
Tyler Lindenbaum's obviously still out there. Trent McDuffie, the cornerback from Washington.
He has great golf etiquette, as we already know. He's got really good football etiquette, too, guys. Only one penalty committed in 2,277
The pick is in for Tennessee, so
the guy plays clean.
We just have to wait for them to announce it, and I'll bring back the live feed up in a second for that. The next two picks after that are the next two picks are for New Orleans and Pittsburgh, both teams that need quarterbacks. So here Pittsburgh is, not having to make a single move, and they could get a potential quarterback of their future.
I'm going to call Malik Willis there if the Saints don't take him. Pittsburgh might. As for this pick, you know, with the Titans, said the pick's in. I forgot that they actually got rid of one of their. It's not A.J. Brown. I think they may have actually gotten rid of the other receiver they got. I don't know. But I think they might go with a wide receiver.
Yeah, very good. You think maybe Treylon Burke? I mean, he's the best wide receiver that's left.
That's true. But, you know, I said wide receiver before I thought of it because I don't know actually whether they got rid of either of the two of the wide receivers they got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always use a third. I mean, in today's game, you need 3 wide receivers.
It's true. This is nonsense. There's an opinion out there that the Titans need a running back.
Yeah. Actually, that's not a terrible take. Not a first-round take, but imagine a situation where you have Derrick Henry, right? He's your lead back. But now you have a backup who is a little bit of a change of pace, a little bit faster, a little twitchier, make you miss kind of guy. And you could put them both in the game at the same time, especially if that guy's a good receiver out of the backfield. Like, take a Christian McCaffrey type player and pair him with a Derrick Henry. That could be a bit of a mismatch.
I thought I refreshed and it said something, but then it didn't. Never mind.
So we're hearing from chat. Pittsburgh will take Willis if he's there. Otherwise, I think they go in a different direction. Very well could. I mean, honestly, a great move for them would be to not reach on the quarterback and take Trevor Penning if he's available. Because offensive line is still a major point of contention in Pittsburgh. I think that would be a good pickup for you guys. You could always try to, maybe go middle linebacker. Nakobe Dean's still out there. I don't know if he's a true middle linebacker, but he might be able to play inside linebacker in a 3-4. So I think there's a number of different number of different things that Pittsburgh could do. And if they don't like any of those guys, another option is to trade down, get some additional picks next year, and just call it a day on day one. But I know there is a thought out there that Pittsburgh cannot pass up another quarterback coming out of Pitt like they did with Dan Marino. My counter argument to that is Kenny Pickett is not fucking Dan Marino.
Thank you very much. I think we could put that argument to rest right there.
Now, does Kenny Pickett have the ability? I mean, what's up? Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, yes, it was a mistake for Pittsburgh not to, like you said, what are we really talking about?
Woo. Palermo, man, you've got it, man. I just saw that the pick came in, man, and you're right. They went wide receiver.
Yep. I see it now. Yep.
Oh, dude, I'm going to start calling you Matt Stradamus, or Palerstradamus.
We'll figure out the name later.
Yeah. How about Miss Pio?
With the 18th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft,
Pio the Seer. Yes, that's
Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks.
Big physical receiver, 3-time.
Is he a fan? Can you mention on Mr. Burks here?
There is
because they have big body.
Yeah, he's another big body.
New development, 2022.
Which is kind of good for their scheme because I think they're wide
receivers. Giant
yeah. But think about it. One of the things that their wide receivers have to do is block. And he's going to be an effective blocker.
January 1st, met at Arkansas and then...
Yeah, there aren't too many successful wide receivers like Tyreek Hill anymore because I don't think the man has ever liked.
He said he purchased the ring ahead
yeah,
of time.
He's not a guy that you would throw. He's going to have to block, though, this year in Miami. Like, that's the one thing that Mike McDaniel is bringing with that, their running concept is your wide receivers have to block.
The NFL comp I wrote down was A.J. Brown, so now you get the younger version of him.
Now, what you get with that is...
Well, that could be said for any wide receiver, but I mean, when you're Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, some of the big Amari Cooper is a bigger wide receiver, and he never blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm real glad that Cleveland.
So Tennessee traded A.J. Brown to Philly. So this is replacing A.J. Brown.
Okay.
But
all right, I knew one. I really felt strong that one of them.
Yeah. So going back,
that's a real good pick.
Yeah, this is a solid pick for them, and they got good value because he probably could have went a lot higher. So again, no quarterback has been taken, and we're 19. Ooh,
all right,
pick is in. Woo!
You got it.
I'm excited.
What's that?
Go ahead. You got it.
I want you to give me this answer. I want this. Would you pick a quarterback going in the first round? Do you think it's a possibility? I guess the better question is, do you think it's a possibility that we don't see a quarterback?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. So as I look down at the rest of the draft, so Detroit traded the 32nd pick to move up to pick up.
Yep, Vikings.
Yeah, Williams. So Vikings possibly. If we don't see a quarterback in these next two picks, I don't think we see a quarterback in the first round unless somebody moves back in. The only other team...
I don't think so.
Yeah, the only two teams that I can see possibly taking a quarterback in the first round after Pittsburgh and New Orleans would be Tampa Bay and Minnesota, because Minnesota's probably looking to move on from Kirk Cousins at some point. I think so. There's a chance that they
signed it. I'm pretty sure that he's already signed an extension. Saints pick is in.
Yeah, we're waiting for it to stream up. So but no, I mean, he may have signed an extension.
I agree with you with the.
Okay, you got this. You got it. I got to tell you, I like the way that this new microphone stand I have is looking. It makes me feel like I'm on the radio.
Dude, you are professional looking right now.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
You got a setup here. I'm definitely feeling it.
Dude, whatever happened to that song that we were trying to put together with like Ken Rosie?
Say what?
Whatever happened to that song we were trying to put together with like Tony Canarosi? You know, that Beast song you wanted to remake?
Oh. You know what? He still plays drums. We haven't talked lately about it, but I would love to get that going.
Yeah.
Seriously. That to me is going to be really cool, because if we do a song, it's not really it's completely like technologically out in the air. We'll never actually like get together, but we could make this really cool music project.
Yeah.
Plus, I know you got lyrics.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll have to get into the bag of tricks and, you know, get back into it a little bit, but it's got to be like riding a bike, man.
Ooh, hey.
Oh.
Refresh.
I just did. Chat, you're not going to believe what just happened. So let me know. Do you want to hear it live, or do you want to know now? Do you want our reaction right now, or do you want to wait until Roger Goodell announces it on our end? Let me know. Let me know in the chat.
Go ahead.
But
this is more chance to digest it, Chad. Let's tell him.
Thank
you.
Wait,
no, it's coming up live right now. We're showing it right now.
And all those serving our great nation domestically and around the world. With the 19th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft,
is this good or bad? I need to know.
Trevor Penning.
Trevor Penning. Oh man, so that's a good pick for New Orleans. What's really good about that pick is they didn't reach for a quarterback that they didn't believe in. I think they're going to try to salvage Jameis Winston. At least give him a year.
I would love to see that happen, because you know it's a possibility. There's a lot of tread on those tires. Seriously, if you just get the guy under control, he can be a serviceable quarterback.
Watching this dude, man, I don't know. I wish you could see this video of like him doing like windmill dunks and stuff. You know, as like 6'7", 300-some pounds. He's squatting, a whole metric ton. He's an athlete and a mauler and a beast, and he would have been perfect in Pittsburgh, I think. But yeah, I think this is a good pick for New Orleans. I mean, I will always side with getting a solid interior lineman, or a solid lineman to help up front. Yeah, he can move people, and he's an angry player.
Look at the regret in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard.
He's a monster.
For saying that he was dunking?
Yeah. There's videos of him doing not just like jumping up, like doing windmill slams. Like, look him up, man. He is an athlete, but he is nasty. So, yeah, that's a great pick for New Orleans. But it looks like the Steelers pick is in. So, any predictions? Or do you think they're going to go full Malik Willis? It's tough. It's a tough question.
It. Tick tock, tick.
So let me ask you this, Matt.
They're not.
What do you? So, should they go quarterback?
No. I think I'm shaking.
Oh, you're breaking up, buddy.
Oh, better?
Yeah.
Am I better now?
Yeah, like the internet gets a little sketchy, but I think you're okay.
Yeah, they don't have they shouldn't take this because Mitch Trubisky's a good bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a chance. I mean, you could take Malik and he could be good, or they could take Baker because there's been that conversation too.
I would rather take Baker. I would take Malik over Baker right now.
I don't know.
I think Baker's kind of regressed a little bit. Oh, I mean, Baker
a lot
of it.
Well, this is the Browns fucked up and Baker fucked up when he got injured and he didn't sit down.
Yeah.
That's just, your shoulders hurt. Stop my throwing shoulder. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah, you need to relax a little bit. So,
so
Chat brings up a really good point. With Willis, one of the things that we know with Willis is he needs to sit. And he's probably, out of all the quarterbacks, he has the most upside in this draft.
In this draft,
yes. Pittsburgh, here's the interesting thing about Pittsburgh is they are rarely in the position to take a first-round quarterback.
No, the last time was Ben.
Yeah. And the time before that was never. I think Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, technically they had a chance for Dan Marino. They just passed on Dan Marino. And I don't know why they don't get more grief for that. I mean, I guarantee you, if Dan Marino went to Pittsburgh, he probably would have won the Super Bowl or two.
Or three. Because in that era, I mean, think about the players the Steelers had.
Yeah.
Like, they were filthy for like a decade while he was playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they could have had the same players and everything, oh God, that would have been like with that 3-4 defense, with like Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd, and then you have Dan Marino throwing it to Yancey Thigpen.
I have never been so concerned looking at a human being as when Greg Lloyd is playing football.
He's nasty.
He was terrifying. He was scarier than James Harrison was. And I've watched James Harrison take out a quarterback's career. Colt McCoy left the cross-side and came back 10 years.
All right, Pittsburgh's pick is in. Let's see what they're going to do. They're announcing it right now. Franco Harris is on stage.
This season marks the 50th anniversary.
Oh, I thought that would have been the
memorable moments in NFL history. During the final seconds of the 1972 AFC divisional game, Franco Harris made an improbable catch.
You're going to do it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fudge. Wow. Oh, man. I don't know if you've seen it, if you guys have seen it live, man. We're just waiting for the announcement. Oh, God. Yeah, that is not what I saw coming.
I'll tell you what, they got a franchise quarterback.
Oh,
they do.
Gosh.
They got a.
Hello, Las Vegas.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this. with the 20th
It's still a reach. I don't give a
2022 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenny Pickett, quarterback. Pittsburgh.
That's it. There's going to be taken. The rest of this strategy, like that was it. That was the pinnacle. That was top.
Here we go.
Wow. Not really, because one of these here. Next question: is anybody going to trade up?
Yeah.
If you don't realize
into the
Panthers,
first round.
Kenny Pickett played college football.
Because Chiefs don't need this 29th, 30th pick.
To the Steelers, he's going to know his way to the complex.
No doubt about it.
And if there's nothing of value, Dallas would love to be in the papers.
To the open guy on time and delivers it accurately. 4-year starter at Pitt playing for offensive
making a trade with somebody, just having their name out there. Jared would love that.
Pro schemes, completed 67% of his throws, throwing it deep
that
down the
is
field. He makes
wow.
excellent decisions in time.
So, what do you think, man? Kenny Pickett over Malik?
Malik Willis from Liberty, the expectation would have been that Willis sat for a year or two. But I think because of his pro readiness right now, Kenny Pickett can compete for playing.
I think that either quarterback would have had a good chance to succeed in Pittsburgh because of their culture, because of their front.
He extends plays, throws very effectively down the field, and look at the numbers: 49 starts.
To help a rookie.
And all the things he looks for.
But I think that they're not going to need to change the offense that much with Kenny Pickett, whereas they would have needed to move on to more Baltimore Ravens as if took Malik.
Two-time Super Bowl winner wanted to leave his organization.
So let's be fair. All this talk about them breaking Dan Marino's records.
He was patient, really exploded in his final season with the Panthers.
Dan Marino played in a different time.
Samantha is now
where it wasn't so spread happy and everything.
The locals love this one.
And
for all the talk
Kenny Pickett's not
Kenny
Dan Marino.
Pickett's
Let's just get that out of the way.
season,
Kenny Pickett is
no
not
debate
Dan
about
Marino.
this.
Could he turn
From
out to
the
have a
moment he
better
arrived in
career?
Pittsburgh, he
Maybe,
proved their
but
value,
probably
both in
not.
throwing the football
Is he? I don't know if
giving back to the
he's not a
community.
better quarterback than Ben Roethlisberger. At least coming out of college, Ben Roethlisberger was a better prospect than Kenny Pickett. Otherwise, Kenny Pickett would have been
when I got
picked
to Pitt, I really
in the
wanted
top
to give
10
back
like
to the
Ben
community,
Roethlisberger was.
and I was able to create Pickett's partners. Ended up donating shirts back to the Boys and Girls Club in Pittsburgh.
Now there was a trade. I
raising
just
some money for
noticed.
them as well.
New England was on the clock, and now the Chiefs are.
Ooh, that's
but they all.
interesting.
Yeah, because the Chiefs have the 29th and 30th pick as well.
Yeah.
They're picked. They're coming up to snatch the butt.
Yeah, so who do we think the Chiefs are going to pick, man? That's interesting. And that's a good move for New England, and I hate to say that because fuck New England, but that's a that's a good move.
It's a smart move, Patriots part, but I don't. You got two picks. Are you serious? There must be something there that they know they can't let it ride until the 29th pick.
Yeah. And I'm looking because one of the areas that I think the Chiefs really are going to be looking for would be wide receiver. I don't think there's any of the top blue chip wide receivers here, but they also need to replace. They have some defensive gaps that they need to replace. Like they still need help on the edge. They have to replace Tyrann Mathieu because Honey Badger isn't going to be there any longer.
Where did he?
Nobody signed him. They just let him go.
Wow, dang.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably on the downside of his career anyway, so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I disagree with you on the wide receiver thing because yes, they lost Tyreek Hill, but they gained Valdez and Juju, which if you put those two together, you got like one Tyreek Hill.
No, you do not. First of all, Juju is. I thought Juju had number one receiver potential. He doesn't. He's not a number one wide receiver. He's a complimentary wide receiver. He does not have the speed to take the top. What?
Who is Kansas City's number one receiver now?
Travis Kelce.
I said wide receiver, asshole. I know that he's their receiver now.
He's their number one receiving threat right now. They don't, and what you lack with, you got to remember what you are losing with Tyreek Hill leaving is that explosiveness. Now, granted, he didn't always catch, long balls. He caught a lot of short, intermediate routes and did some things. But there was that threat of him being able to get over top of you that really stretched out defenses. You lost that. So that's where, and I've always been of the opinion that
the New England Patriots have traded the 21st pick.
We got the
Kansas
Chiefs
City
pick
Chiefs. With the 21st pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a wide receiver. I'm just going to say that.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie.
You mentioned Honey Badger. I think that's the route that they go.
Yeah, they went cornerback Trent McDuffie.
The former Husky who allowed just one completion of 20 or more.
Well, fuck. Let me refresh.
Trent McDuffie, see him from his home in Dana Point, California. Celebrating this night is McDuffie. The Husky cornerback is a first-round pick. See him getting the call.
You could probably now they could go and get a wide receiver at 29 or 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's no wide receivers. There's no wide receivers left that are.
Mom was a track athlete at UC Irvine. Hey, he
that
was
like,
high school
you
teammates
have some
with
fringe
Clemson
first round
DJ Uiagalelei, and now McDuffie.
Most of what you
is
have
on
left
his
are like
way
edge rushers
in Kansas
and,
City. Now, see the number 22, jersey number very special to many. This one carries
like safeties,
deep significance for Trent McDuffie.
A couple of tackles are left. And a couple of quarterbacks, which
my second oldest brother Tyler, we have the same personality, so that was my guy growing up.
Let's be fair. Green Bay isn't above taking a quarterback right now.
Now, I was just thinking that. And if you want to give Aaron Rodgers a seizure, you take Malik. You take him.
they almost have to. Please. I hope Green Bay takes Malik because Aaron Rodgers is another one of those guys that just needs to shut the hell up, dude, and get a goddamn haircut. Like, how are you gonna consider yourself a conservative when you walk around looking like a goddamn hippie? Man bun wearing little
You know what he reminds me of? Seriously, is what's his name in Napoleon Dynamite? No,
Uncle Rico?
the Uncle
Uncle Rico?
Uncle Rico. That's Uncle Rico, man. That motherfucker when he grew his hair out. Uncle Rico.
He's Uncle Rico. I do not like Aaron Rodgers. I never really liked him. I think he's more diva than most wide receivers.
That is a very fair statement.
Yeah. So
he's like the Irving of the. That's what he is.
The Kyrie Irving.
Yes, of the NFL. He's like 2 brain cells lost away from believing the Earth is flat.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's. He's a complete different guy altogether. He's an incredible scorer, but that's all he is a scorer, really. I mean, he's a role player, essentially.
I don't think that Jay-Z knew what he was getting into when he put this team together. Whether,
I hope Jay-Z didn't put the team together. I think like KD tried to put the team together, and it's just, this is the problem with in some cases with player empowerment. So it is sometimes the players are trying to do what they think is best, but they're so close to it that they can't see the bigger picture. So Green Bay's pick is coming in right now. There's Roger Goodell.
With the 22nd pick in the 2022
Tell us, boss.
NFL
You
Draft.
can do it,
What do we got?
The Green Bay Packers select Quay Walker.
Quay Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
You see the cheeseheads are thinking, I need a wide receiver.
That's good because they lost.
Look, I get one of those
they just lost Za'Darius.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah,
another Georgia
right.
defensive player from the national champions
Now,
coming off the boarding.
I know
Quay Walker, two-sport
this-
athlete.
I don't know where he
These
went,
guys
but
are. Got a key to the city after the Bulldogs won the
Probably
national
went to Baltimore
championship.
just
and he
to
was a full-time
make
starter for the
Steve
first
angry.
time this year.
For the first time, exactly. Only averaged 40.7 snaps because they were rotating guys.
You might not be wrong on that.
Listen, Nakobe Dean
Because that like
was the best
rung the
player
bell.
on this defense
That
at
is,
the
so.
linebacker position. He's probably not going to get
Oh,
drafted
so
in
the
the first
Ravens
round.
have just
Quay
traded their
Walker,
pick to the
This
Bills.
is the difference between college projection and NFL projection. We saw it with Trayvon Walker, his teammate, #1 overall, and you're seeing.
Was that Arizona or Baltimore
He's 6'3"
that had
and a
that
half,
pick?
241 pounds. He's got left tackle
What, the
arms,
next pick?
and he ran a 4.52, a lot like his teammate.
The Bills are on the clock.
Yeah.
But did they get that pick from Baltimore or Arizona? Because they're both involved in the pick.
As a blitzer, and in coverage, he's got the straight line speed you look for. So they think in the NFL, and clearly here.
Oh, no. It was Buffalo. Buffalo and Baltimore just traded because
like you said, just 1 year.
Buffalo bumped up two. They must
third
have been
Georgia
trying to get
Bulldog
the
off
Ravens
board, the
good,
most
right?
first-round selections by
Yeah,
any
I'm
school
wondering
so
if
far.
Buffalo is
Quay
jumping
Walker
up to
going to Green Bay. The Buffalo
they need some
Bills
back
are
end
on
help
the clock.
a little
As
bit.
a wise man
They
once
have
said,
a
no one
weakness
circles
in
the wagon.
corner,
It's like the Buffalo
so I
Bills.
can see them maybe. I don't know, maybe Elam.
Well, look, Cowboys need help.
Always wanted to be the best. Let's go, Atlanta.
Cowboys.
Fly, baby. Let's get to work.
I can't wait for Jameson to get drafted too.
Yeah, the Cowboys do need a cornerback. So if they're going to go after, if the Bills are going to go after a cornerback, this would be why.
Time to stop.
Yeah, I always think like right
Why
now.
stop there?
I'm just looking at who's kind of left on the big board, like
A little
Nakobe.
sawdust and lumber.
Yeah, Nakobe Dean
Maybe
from
a
Georgia
couple
as a
of
linebacker
steaks, too.
is there.
And
I mean, I'm
something for the
assuming that
patio.
Buffalo was going to be picking
Then let's
linebacker,
stop and
or not
smell
linebacker,
those
defense,
roses.
but they
Everything you
very
need for
well
spring
could
at our
be
best prices
going
of the season at
into.
the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
They could be going offensive linemen as well, or they could even be going running back. This is not a terrible spot to go and get someone like Breece Hall out of Iowa.
Yep, they're constantly refreshing.
Well, it's slim pickings at running back, though.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're going to get it, because they do need a running back.
Yeah.
They got wide receiver core, really good tight ends, shit for running backs.
Yeah. And maybe someone like Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State, the defensive end, that could be something that they're trying to go after. But I don't know. It's weird. Like Buffalo, they don't have too many weaknesses. Their biggest weaknesses are on their defensive secondary. So I don't know.
Get pet supplies, hot drinks,
There's
snow
nobody
tools,
who's
and a
really
chance to
available
flex,
except
all
for maybe
from your neighborhood.
like,
DoorDash.
Brisker from Penn State.
I love my new home. I always wanted a house with historic architecture, but it might be too Victorian.
Help solidify that. So I guess I don't know why they're moving up. And I mean, if anything, I would think Buffalo would move back, try to get some additional picks because this is such a deep draft.
There's something that they really want that I believe that the Cowboys. So I'm telling you, I think because they both have the same need in the secondary, that's what this move was.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I mean, I think they both have. Yeah. Let me take a look at their needs. Like, yeah, corner, defensive lineman, and tight end, and the Cowboys. Oh wait, the thing keeps refreshing. Yeah, so cornerback, wide receiver, running back for Buffalo. and Dallas, who now is also on the clock, needs offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver. So it's not too totally.
And they really different. Hope on the offensive line. So yeah, I don't know what that move was all about.
I mean, we'll find out in a couple seconds.
I couldn't see how this would make sense, after all this is said,
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's, like you said, there's somebody that they really want, and they think that somebody else is going to get them. Basically, that Dallas is going to get before them. The only two people I can see is maybe again, Kaiir Elam, which I think is a fringe first round grade, and Breece Hall, which is definitely more like a second round pick, but would probably go before Buffalo comes back again, and they could really use that running back help, especially someone who's relatively dynamic. Like Breece could play. Breece could flat out play.
Same. Oh, come on now, Buffalo. Well, the pick actually. Let's go, Roger.
Now, let's go, Brandon.
That fucking saying. It's childish. Oh, wait. We got something.
All right, hold on. It's still propagating on me. Hey! You're welcome.
But still a bit of a project in terms
Yeah,
of being refined.
that's exactly what we needed. Thank you.
Dan, he's yawning.
This is a 5-star.
It's going to be a long night. Here's the thing. If a team moves back into the first round to go get him, that's a possibility. But Tennessee's already moved.
Man, I don't want to hear from you. Let's go, Brandon. It's childish.
Hey, look, it's not going to be Buffalo. They've got Josh Allen. Buffalo
that
23.
any
Malik Wade's going to wait just a little bit longer.
Actually childish. Like, all right, hold on. I'll get that in a second. The pick is in.
The 23rd pick to the Buffalo Bills. With the 23rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Kaiir Elam.
Kaiir Elam.
Back, Florida.
Now, we'll go with the jargon of the draft. This is a straight need pick because Buffalo lost Levi
I was still
Wallace,
thinking maybe Bryce, but no. I mean, I think overall decent pick for them. They do need that help defensively because they can get burnt, and
that was the problem. Nobody could run. Nobody could run on Buffalo.
No,
you got to.
So. Getting a little bit into politics just to spice up the mood. I consider myself a bit of an outsider and a devil's advocate, right? You would agree with that.
I think so.
One thing that I've learned over the past 8 years is that Republicans and Democrats act exactly the same.
I can't say you're wrong. Keep going.
I mean, just everything, like all of the stuff that Trump went through. Like the first time I heard a conservative say, "Oh, it's not my president," I'm like, "Fuck you! You just spent 4 years complaining about liberals saying the exact same thing." And, liberals come off as all high and mighty, like, "Hey, we never stormed the Capitol." Okay, but you did start a bunch of fucking riots, and you did do some damage to government buildings. Regardless of what you thought your reason was, you still did it. You still rioted. You still, and half the people who were rioting, let's be honest, and looting, weren't doing it out of principle. They were doing it to get free shit.
Well, yeah. That's all already been discussed.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. People act exactly the same. They don't get their way, and they start bitching about it, and they act petulant.
And something, I have to agree with you, but I think that the news media has all of us pitted against each other.
They do. And it's not even just the news media. The politicians have everybody pitted against each other because they're the ones who stand to gain the most.
Yep.
And that's why I take my devil's advocate role so seriously, to hopefully get people to see through the absurdity of this blind loyalty. And I hate the idea of, especially in a presidential election, where, oh, I'm voting for Biden because I don't believe he can do a good job. But he's better than Trump. Like, you're voting of the lesser of two evils. If I were in charge,
that was what the election was, James.
Yeah, and that is a problem. We should be voting for the person that we think is going to be the best. We should, like, this idea of, like, oh, I threw my vote away. Like, I voted for a third party. Oh, you're just throwing your vote away. So you're the reason Trump won in the first place. Well, no. It's because that I don't believe in the idea of throwing my vote away. I believe in, as someone who is voting, it's my obligation to vote for the person that I think is going to do the most competent job. Not the lesser of two evils. And in fact, were I in charge, I would actually arrange something where... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, if I was in charge, the way that I would conduct a presidential election would be that an abstained vote would actually count. And what I mean by that is, say there's two presidential candidates, right? And you don't like either one of them. And there's nobody that you don't want, that you believe in. So you don't vote.
Vote, not vote.
Right? You don't vote. So
but
what
you
happens?
Go.
What?
Oh. All right. So just to understand, I believe, so you technically vote, but your vote would be between these two because they are unsuitable.
What I'm saying is, under the system that I would propose, is in order to win a presidential campaign, you have to have at least 50% of registered voters have turned out for that election. Not 50% of the vote, 50%. So say there's 100 million voters that are eligible, right? 50 million would have to have cast a vote. You know, a majority of 50% would have to have cast a vote. Otherwise, the election is null and void. What that does is it says, if I don't believe in this candidate, I can abstain from voting. And that abstain will demonstrate that you need to bring in new candidates because these guys suck. Yeah, we
got the pick in for the Dallas.
Ooh, that is a weird pick. I don't know anything about.
No, it's not. They lost Lyle Collins.
Yeah, they lost Lyle Collins, but I don't know anything about this guy. So I'm going to transition over to the announcement for our two viewers out there.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith.
Tulsa.
I don't know anything about this guy.
The lady is clapping. She's clapping.
I know they need offensive line.
Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. I think Dak Prescott probably will.
All right.
This is a guy.
He's a big boy.
He's got some things to
definitely a big boy.
He
Holy
had penalty issues
nuts.
at times, but.
He's sophomore out of Tulsa, 6'4", 5'8", 324 pounds, arm length 34 1/4, hand size 10 5/8. He's big.
Yeah, he's big.
I remember going back at the start of this year in college football at ESPN, and I was watching Ohio State
40-yard dash,
defense, and I was trying to watch Oklahoma State on defense. And just see how good they were, and I just could
and
not
he's a left tackle. He's a baby, man. He's soft.
Yeah, dude, he's 21.
Human being. So athletic, so quick out of his stance, and just so strong. I think he's
how many better offensive linemen? If you didn't know about this offensive lineman, that means that they're like digging deep into a bag somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't get a ton of time to do a true deep study on the draft. But I mean, I keep going back to like my big board.
Where you pick a person dead or alive you'd like to have dinner with. He chose Hannibal Barca, one of the great military commanders
on the outside of it. So this is one of those players I think is like a fringe first rounder, fringe, early second round pick. So I don't want to go so far as to say that this is a reach, but this isn't necessarily the area that I mean, I think this is right around the slot. I think we're now essentially seeing a bunch of players who could very well be second round picks that are squeezing into the first round, because unlike my presidential election format, you can't abstain from a draft pick just to say, well, we don't like anybody here, so we're not going to pick. It just goes. That's not how that works.
We'll pick. Yeah. We'll wait. We're going to carry this one over. No, it's a pick that is sensible, and therefore I have no idea how it got Jerry's approval.
Yeah. Jerry must be outsourcing his approval elsewhere.
So now we got the Ravens by way of the Buffalo trade.
Yeah. And now the Ravens are going to. So who they get in their first pick? They
check up here.
They took Kyle
Hamilton.
Yeah. So I'm thinking they're probably going to go defense again, because there's not really, I mean, unless they pick up someone like Tyler Lindenbaum, maybe Bashard Raymond, the offensive tackle.
Perhaps. I mean, one of their needs was cornerback, and they traded. So I think that Buffalo got the cornerback that they wanted. They gave that away. So unless they seen something that they're like, yeah, we'll just go this route. Maybe Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that probably going to go edge rusher. I'm just looking at the cornerbacks that are left, and they could squeeze into the first round. I mean, they're not terrible prospects like Andrew Booth or Kyler Gordon. I'd be a little bit wary of Kyler Gordon in the first round, because he played with McDuffie, but I guess playing with McDuffie actually showed that he could actually manage being targeted more often, because McDuffie being your top corner wouldn't be as if you're playing opposite of a better corner, you're going to get more looks, is what I'm essentially saying.
Yeah.
Now
there's been another trade in picks, James.
Another
it
trade.
Seems as though, well, yeah, it's not anything big. The Patriots took the Chiefs' 29th pick.
Yeah.
So that was originally San Francisco's, then it was Miami, then it was Kansas City's, and now the New England Patriots. This is some like Jerry, like Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. Nobody wanted that pick. Miami essentially traded that pick for Tyreek Hill. And there's probably nobody that they were going to get at 29 that's better than Tyreek Hill.
Right. Yeah, say. I wonder what are the Patriots' needs? Or should you just ask Big A?
Yeah, Big A.
Nothing.
Patriots needs. I mean, they obviously need helping cornerback, and they addressed that a little bit, bringing back Malcolm Butler. But Malcolm Butler isn't what Malcolm Butler was. So that's going to be close. Obviously, offensive line, especially if they're trying to help Matt Jones. And it sounds like it looks like they need a linebacker help. So Tyler Lindenbaum probably is definitely in play. Bernard Raymond is definitely in play. Cornerback, I can see them sitting on a cornerback because there really isn't I don't think there's another cornerback here with a first-round grade, so they're probably better waiting, unless they don't think they're going to be there. And if they don't think that that's going to be there, they may jump in that spot.
You might oh god damn it. What was I gonna say?
Marijuana affects the memory.
No. It affects it like a lot. It affects it like a whole lot. But it also decreases the chances of mass murder, so
yeah.
There's that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, refresh your screen, bud.
Oh, that is an interesting pick. So it looks like our boys, the Ravens, have put Tyler Lindenbaum on their squad. I tell you who's salivating at that is Pittsburgh. And the reason why
is that?
Because he is a bit undersized. You know, he's only 6'2". He's 296, I think. So I mean,
in the 2022 NFL Draft.
I mean, how is he going to handle
Tyler Lindenbaum,
Cam Haywood,
center, Iowa,
Stephon Tuitt? I mean, Pittsburgh's got some guys up there.
What Baltimore needed, they lost Bradley Bozeman, their center and free agency to Carolina, and now
center,
they take Tyler
like, look at his picture. He looks like that's the least amount of neck that I've ever seen on a real person.
So many guys in the NFL. This guy is so strong.
Yeah, with no neck.
Yeah,
like
no neck. It just his chest just goes up to his chin.
Yes,
he's like the anti David Mills.
You'll never break his neck. It just won't happen.
No,
that's
man.
the joke.
He's like it's funny, man. Like David Mills is like a flamingo. He's just like all neck, and this guy is like a rhino. It's just all body and head.
It was wrestling season, and
it would have been great if they were on the same team.
Named Tristan
Give me some of
who plays for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Starting right tackle and
zing. We got the Jets on the clock here.
Yeah, this will be an interesting pick too. I wonder if I was sitting there thinking, would the Jets go so far as to take a quarterback because they're not sold on Zach Wilson?
The NFL that you would not put that past.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns of the very another one. Bengals up until Joe Burrow.
So, yeah, go the Jets. I mean, I could see the Jets probably taking Jermaine Johnson. It's either Jermaine Johnson or Kobe Dean. I have a feeling that's where they're going to go.
I'm going to say Jermaine Johnson because I think that move that New England made is in hopes that Kobe Dean is there.
Yeah. It makes sense. Jermaine Johnson is probably the best bet. I know they need secondary help, but I don't think they need safety help right now. And I don't see any cornerbacks with a first round grade left.
This is their third pick of the first round, and they did already pick up a wide receiver and a cornerback. Yeah. So they're filling every one of their needs. So you're probably right about Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, that's the prediction. I'm locking it in.
Yeah, I'll ride with you on that.
Woo! 3-7, baby. I gotta start making some 3-7 gear.
That would be fantastic. We could actually introduce the brand.
Did I ever show you the logo I designed?
Maybe. If I see it, I'll tell you.
Yeah, let me see you pull it up, and I'll put it on camera.
Picks in.
Yep, I'm waiting for Roger to get his punk ass up.
Yeah, seriously. Roger Dodger. Are you tired?
Now, the design for it the design is there. I'm just going through the fine details. So I'll show you after this pick because I think Raj is making his way up there. Oh, I'll just show you right now. So this is what I'm looking at for 3-7.
I remember this now. Yes.
What I like about
I approve of this.
What I like about the logo is obviously it has it's a 3, and it has a 7. It also has an M and a J.
Does it then? Let me see it again.
So if I turn it like that,
goddamn.
So I think I have another version of it that's a little bit better, that really highlights it. Let me see. All right, pick is in. So
it
is.
Pick of the night. And see what they do.
Let me see, because I don't have my other screen up at the ATM.
The Tennessee Titans have traded the 26th
you got it yet?
To the New York Jets.
It's coming.
With the 26th
That's what she said.
2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jermaine
Man.
Johnson.
Woo! I'm a genius.
Florida State.
You are twice now a genius.
Jermaine Johnson was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year in his own season playing for Florida State. He had
Tampa Bay just traded Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
Oh, wow.
The field a little bit longer.
Now they're going to take a quarterback just to be stupid.
That would be great.
That would be hilarious.
All right. So they're hopping. What are they hopping up for?
Jacksonville? Well, Jacksonville needs everything, so it could be anything.
They took Trayvon Walker, defensive lineman, or line.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that offensive tackle I've been hyping. Bernard Raymond. They need offensive line help.
They do. I mean, they need their needs are wide receiver, offensive line, linebacker, but.
So maybe Nakobe Dean?
Man. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, it definitely would be.
Because that would mean that the Patriots jumped for no reason.
Yeah.
That would be great. Come on, Jacksonville. Fuck with them.
You could do it. You could do it. Oh man, so how you holding up, man? You still feeling good?
Yeah. As soon as I get out of here, the better.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm thinking about my bed right now. Well, because I have to get up and work in the morning.
Are you back in Philly?
Yeah.
Or I mean, well, Pottstown, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the office.
Good things or bad things? Like,
I'm not a fan. I don't think it's necessary. And one of the things I really don't like about it is the dictatorial way that it came about. Like, oh, well, we know best, so we're going to do this hybrid schedule instead of saying, okay, what works best for you? Come into the office when you can, or don't come into the office, whatever works. Treat people like adults.
Yeah. So there's trouble in paradise. You get on Indeed and all that shit, or
yeah. Hopefully no one from work is watching this, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna start looking because my company is just doing some dumb shit.
You're still at the same place, right?
Yep.
All right, I know the place.
Do you?
For posterity, I will not say otherwise. I don't know. I think that's the word. I've always wanted to use posterity since I've heard it, but I really don't know like what it means.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so this is a better version of the logo.
See, I remember the sharp points.
Yeah. So like when you turn it like that, clearly an M.
Right. Yes, it is.
So yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, simple but sophisticated. It's like my nuts.
I like the explanation, the penis explanation from Will Ferrell in that Eurovision movie. He said his dick's like a Volvo, strong, reliable, but not much to look at. So, be a Volvo. Be a Volvo.
All right. Looks like Jaguars pick is in. Do they do anything good? I'm thinking right now. I'm gonna guess Nakobe Dean. That's where I'm. But it is Jacksonville, so maybe they would do something.
They would be snatching them. They could reach for a wide receiver, which they need a wide receiver, but I wouldn't call that their.
Well, they get the big first need. Pick. They get the first pick in the next round. So what's the point? Like just wait a few picks and get a wide receiver there. They may do something like maybe like George Karlaftis or Dave Ojabo.
Oh,
the edge rushers.
Well, George Karlaftis.
Mm-hmm.
I see his name.
Yeah.
It got the same rating as Nakobe Dean. Seems like he's just not getting as much notoriety because of the fact that Nakobe went to Georgia. But an edge rusher is actually between a defensive end and a linebacker. So
yeah,
I don't know if you go for talent or versatility.
I mean, if you're Jacksonville right now, if I'm Jacksonville right now, and I know you have to build teams with a plan, you absolutely do, but I feel like you have to kind of take that with a grain of salt and just start accumulating talent at this point, because you're Jacksonville, you're essentially deficient everywhere.
Yeah, you're like a shitty quarterback away from being a college team.
Yeah,
I mean, it's real bad.
Yeah,
so, like that's where careers die.
Yeah. When you have someone who wants to get out of Florida so bad that they, go to I guess they went to Los Angeles, but they traded no state tax to the worst state tax anywhere, in Jalen Ramsey. He's like, yeah, I don't have to pay state tax to. Wait a minute, half of my check is going to people that I don't even know.
But he does have a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he does.
So
you get the little sleepy pee.
I mean, no,
the stuff kicking in.
Well, this is my eyes, and this is just I walk around like this. This is me. But
okay, Jim Brewer.
I will take that as a compliment. Jim Brewer is a gentleman and a scholar. Okay. I went on another piercing project here.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, like you could take that downtown. Like you could wheel that around.
Hey,
on
Buccaneers
a
have traded the 27th pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right,
there's that teardrop.
The 27th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft.
Oh,
the Jacksonville Jaguars select Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah.
Okay. On this way.
How about this pick here? This is one of my favorite players in college.
You see it, right?
Last year, Devin Lloyd.
Obviously he's a lot higher than what I'm seeing because he was invited to the draft and he showed up on day one, so he must have had day one ambitions. But yeah,
I'm looking at this, and I mean, all right. Well, here's the thing: he's an inside linebacker.
Yeah,
he's not a defensive end. He's not an edge rusher. He's not a linebacker. He's specific inside linebacker.
Yeah, they do have to replace Miles Jack. What was that? You froze.
Where'd Miles Jack go?
Pittsburgh.
That makes sense.
I think. Let me see.
The land of the back.
Dude, listen to this. This is hilarious. All right, hold on. Okay.
You have to have something that sticks. You have to have something that's monumental. When you walk out on stage, it has to be monumental.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Can you remember any of the rap that you did?
My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle. For sure. Make me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat. You really have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact. No slack. But luckily the seats go back. I got an act to relax in my mind. Sipping some red wine. I sit bruised from jealousy.
So, how do you?
Oh, you froze again, bro. Hey, you're back.
Aha!
Did I ever send you that Coast Contra stuff? That freestyle?
No.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. This dude, the one dude on there, he's the last guy to go in this video I'm gonna send you. He has another, like, made me just want to retire and never rap again because he was that good.
I will be listening to that in my post-draft.
Shoot, we can do it right now.
Cool down.
You know, we are. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. Like I said, I mean, we're we're kind of late night. We have 2 viewers. I have no idea who those viewers are, but thank you for sticking around. So that's yeah, Eric Jamal.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
listen to this one, man. After the ad, of course, because, you know, ads.
To your new colors, style, and confidence. We're here for you and all you're looking forward to.
And then we'll go back into who the Packers picked.
Is it?
Yeah, and the Patriots picks in too.
It go hut hut, blue 42, red 47. This is OD. Being no form of his resurrection. If you catch that, lend him a hand. I'm talking Beckham or David High, Kiki Goliath. Beck get to stepping. This is big shit. Unwrapped gifts. You feel my presence is for you, God. I shall lend my soul and vessel. I could expect the deck, but I trust the hand. I was dealt with it. Ever since I risen, I knew that I knew the method. Woo! Ghost faces. Every time I get on the record, label me a killer. My microphone is my weapon. I be looking at my brothers like bodies that's in this session. Cause if I don't want my body, they'll body me in a second. Peer pressure. Every verse is a vendetta. You ain't never seen a group or collective that's this eclectic. Real lows go into all you sheep. I'm a shepherd then. The twins been towering ever since 9/11. Boy, y'all too plain. Saying that you the best, my nigga. Who's saying? Doing about anything for the check, my nigga. You playing. Showing your bling bling and next nigga. Bear rock. Give me that chain. Nice fruity pebbles. I'm a cereal. Killer look at you like what's for breakfast, nigga. Milking the game, coming for seconds. Niggas want more, but never want to learn a lesson. Even when it's at the expense of our adolescence. Who gon' protect the kids when they teaching kids this was sexist? Sucking dick at 11, oh baby, her favorite record. Thinking the only way that she get respect if she naked. Going down at that age, I think I know where we headed. I reckon if you check it, we in the days of the record. The message from the reverend that in it will accept men and women will work together. The children will give direction. The world will be upside down. We'll really live in inception. Whoa! I found the edge of my understanding and jump.
That is Eric Jamal. He's part of a group called Coast Contra.
Coast Contra.
Yep.
We'll find them fuckers on Apple Music.
Yeah. Like I said, those are just like some freestyle sessions. And I'm like, oh, golly. I got goosebumps. And then I'm like, I maybe I should quit. Maybe I can't do this anymore.
No, you just keep going. Hey, the pick actually came through. Check it out.
Finally. Let's see. We're going to put it on live.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle,
That's a
Georgia.
decent pick. Aaron Rodgers has got to be flipping his shit because once again, the Packers have not picked a single offensive player in the first round except for Jordan Love in like the past 5 drafts.
Changed them from red and black to green and gold now. 4th Georgia player taken in the first round.
How do you do that to Aaron Rodgers? Because yeah, he's a prick, but they allowed Devontae Adams to walk. And now they're not getting him any weapons.
Well, that's.
They also let Valdez.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, and this is one of the reasons why, like, when we talked about Tyreek Hill, I wasn't a huge proponent of the trade and giving up as much as we did, because I think wide receiver is an overvalued position right now. It is a position that is highly dependent on the abilities of your quarterback. And if you have a really good quarterback, he can make a good wide receiver out of an average wide receiver. What's more important in the wide receiver for the wide receivers is you almost need to think of them like offensive line, right? You can have the best offensive lineman in the world, but that doesn't mean you have a good offensive line. You need to have complementary pieces that fit together. Your wide receiver room has to be the same way. Get people who can do different jobs that will work together. Like your big body, your guy who's going to go deep, your guy who's going over your middle, someone who's going to get a lot of yards after catch. You don't need to have one wide receiver that does all that. You need to have a group that fits and blends in together and play off each other's strength very well.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
These days. Yes.
So I say all that to say you don't necessarily need to get a first-round wide receiver. Like, if Green Bay not taking a wide receiver right now isn't really a huge deal to me, because I don't see any wide receiver on the board that's better than the player that they took. Now, for their other pick, maybe you can kind of make that argument. But it's not a yeah. Let me look at what their draft is, or my iPad can go crazy.
It seems like every NFL team is like, let's get this over with, because the Chiefs pick is in, Bengals are on the clock. And we still haven't heard from the Patriots.
Patriots are like, I'm done with this. Yeah, I think we're just getting backlogged with commercials and shit.
Perhaps.
The Packers at 22. They took Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. Now they took Devontae Wyatt, a defensive tackle out of Georgia. So they're really trying to bolster their defense, which, to be fair, their defense is one of the reasons why they lost in the playoffs last year, is because they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop anybody. When you get into the playoffs, go ahead.
Well, actually, the Packers haven't had a legit.
Oh, you're frozen again, dude.
Tell me when I come back. I'll just keep talking until you hear me.
You're back. You're back.
I'm here. I'm in. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, they haven't had a solid defense, like a really totally solid defense, since they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it was respectable the last couple of years, but it wasn't anything that was going to get the ball back to Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. So, if anything, Aaron Rodgers should be happy that they're trying to address their defense and get better, so that he doesn't have to put the whole thing on his shoulders, and he can just because there are going to be times where he's going to have to carry the team, absolutely. But I think they also there's a what?
There's a good running game there.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah. And having a good defense it means that he can probably just play within the system and doesn't have to win every single game on his own, and that will keep him fresher longer. But this is also Aaron Rodgers, he's probably going to demand a trade and like after the draft. Well, you didn't really fit my needs, so I need to go somewhere where I can be a douche. And then Cleveland will pick him up. Because that's what Cleveland does.
No, they got the good quarterback. They got I think that if you take everything into consideration, age, ability, attitude and everything, I'm glad that Cleveland took
Deshaun.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking.
It's late, man.
Woo!
I get it. All right, so finally, the Patriots pick is in.
NFL draft. The New England Patriots select.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at this guy's 40-yard dash. He looks like he was trying really hard to get the 5 seconds.
For the moccasins of Chattanooga,
Cole Strange.
This is a guy who originally
committed
to Air Force, went to
Yep.
Chattanooga, and done well. Now the Chiefs are on the clock, and these are the storylines as they go into this offseason.
That's the Patriot way. No hot take there. That's just
Schuster coming over from Pittsburgh to help out Patrick Mahomes.
It's a guard.
Kelsey in that passing attack. Tyreek Hill
is
gone.
It's
trade to the Miami Dolphins now. They look to replace that.
Yes,
speed.
they got to protect that young man.
In this draft, they've already made
one of them
because Tom Brady
back. Trent McDuffie out of Washington with the 21st
What's that?
pick. So
I'm looking at Cole's.
Give us your assessment of what the Chiefs did with their first pick and what you'd like to see here.
His 20-yard shuttle 4.5 is pretty good. 40-yard dash.
We made some moves. I'm not mad.
5 seconds
I can't
for
complain
guard
about building that
terrible.
defense.
Good bench press, 31.
Brett Veach is
pretty explosive.
He's the best, man. That's why I love what he does. I can just put all the trust in him in the front office over there in Kansas City and know that they're going to get great guys to come in the building. Not just great football players, but great guys.
Would you draft a guy like Trent McDuffie in your mind? Are you thinking I got to go work that guy in practice now?
Immediately,
dude. I think they're about to announce for the Chiefs.
Commissioner Goodell going to the microphone now.
With
the Chiefs' second first-round pick tonight.
With the 30th pick in the 2022
30th
NFL
pick,
draft,
2 more picks.
The Kansas City Chiefs select George Karlaftis.
George
defensive
Karlaftis.
end, Purdue.
Uh-huh.
They do need some defensive end help.
They do.
Everybody wants this.
I think last year,
Mm-hmm. Whew. We're in the home stretch. Bengals pick is in, and Bengals they're a pretty complete team, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly they're gonna go.
They don't need a tight end. That's what this thing is saying, that they don't need a tight end.
It could help though. I mean, but there's no tight ends that I would take right now.
Yeah. Cornerback and defensive lineman. I mean, could they take Dean?
They could. Honestly, I would probably side with an offensive lineman because Joe Burrow gets hit a lot. And it's not always on this offensive line. He just holds the ball way too long in some cases trying to make a play. But because he does get hit so much, I would definitely consider an offensive lineman. And that's only going to help Joe Mixon out too.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon hits holes.
He really got on it.
What was that?
He really performed well this year.
Mixon?
Joe Mixon?
Yeah. Joe Mixon was a hell of a player. He would have been the first round pick if he wasn't, an assaulter.
In where?
Remember in college? He I think he was like beating women. And that's why he fell into the third round. That's why I say he hits holes like he hits women. One of the reasons I refuse to draft him in my fantasy football teams.
Well, he's not as reliable in fantasy football as one would really hope for.
Yeah.
That should never be a problem. He did me right last year, so.
Yeah. Oh, man. I feel like I need a snack. I'm watching you eat.
Man. Potatoes.
What are you eating?
Fried potatoes.
I'm going to go get some of my mom's homemade Chex Mix.
That's what you got right now?
I will after the show.
Wait, there's nowhere near. This is nowhere near Christmas.
No, but we made some for Easter.
Huh?
We made some for Easter.
Always good time for Chex Mix.
Yeah, dude.
So when did you get back to Pottstown?
I got back on.
You were going back
Tuesday, but I was
really.
Yeah, well, it was January, end of January. I came back. Then I was here until the week of Easter, so I just came back again.
Settling in?
Yeah, we're trying to. All right, so the pick is in for Cincinnati, and the Vikings are on the clock. I don't know who the pick is. They haven't announced it yet. Then the Vikings, who I have no idea what the Vikings are doing, trading all the way back. I mean, they're probably, it wouldn't surprise me if they go and pick Malik Willis. Would not surprise me at all, because I think they're getting to the place where they think they're going to get as far as they're going to get with Kirk Cousins.
They are as far as they're going to get.
Yeah.
With Kirk Cousins as it stands right now. So I believe that. But I think he's got a couple of good years. He's a reliable quarterback.
Yeah. Which,
I'm not saying.
Getting Malik Willis, though, at 32 will allow you to sit him and develop him.
Which he needs.
And it puts a little bit of pressure on Kirk Cousins, too, which in some cases will make him better.
It's a theory.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's what they will do. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens.
No, it's your devil's advocate shenanigans again.
Oh, they're not shenanigans. This is like legitimate. Other than that, I mean, they could go edge. I don't think they take Nakobe Dean. I'm actually thinking he's going to not be in the first round because unless he goes to Cincinnati. But this is kind of the space in the draft where picking for need really doesn't make sense. You need to really start thinking about just the best player that's available.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
There's only it's Nakobe Dean, and then now we've actually gotten to a point where Matt Corral, the Mississippi quarterback, and Malik Willis are the two highest rated draft picks.
Yeah, according to NFL.com.
Yeah. I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah, so here's where I can see them kind of going is I'm going to guess that the Bengals, I'm going to go on a limb and say they're going to, I don't know the lineman that they're going to take, but I think they're going to take an offensive lineman. And I'm completely wrong. They took Daxton Hill. Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan.
Does Eli Apple play for the Giants or the Bengals now?
I think the Bengals. He doesn't play for the Giants.
Oh. Or no, never mind. He's a safety. Or he's on the same.
He's a cornerback, too.
What a Daxton Hill.
It's late. It's late. Let's go to Roger.
22 NFL draft. The AFC champion.
Wait,
Cincinnati Bengals.
They're already saying who Minnesota is?
Yeah, they're
picking. Is it Minnesota?
Michigan.
So Roger right now is just announcing because he came back from commercial break.
Celebrating, ran a 4.38 40 at the combine. He can play slot corner, he can play a little safety, gives him some versatility. You see him celebrating from his home in Tulsa,
I wasn't expecting that.
And he's listed as a safety, and he can play single high safety, but he's really a nickel, and he might be the best pure nickel cornerback in this class.
Well, anytime that you get your defensive backfield right, you have a chance at not your quarterback play from behind.
Yeah, he can turn and run in coverage.
Very, very important.
And he's a playmaker. He's always around the football. I just think he's.
And they did. They had some comeback games this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
In their Cinderella Bowl.
Yeah, and that's one of the other reasons why I'm not as bullish on them as other people, because
and he's a guy that finished what he started. You know, he had 5 different position coaches in his first 3 years in Michigan. It's very hard as a player to build a rapport and a chemistry and confidence level under those circumstances. And at the end of the 2020 season, they went 2-4. There were rumors that head coach Jim Harbaugh might get fired. A lot of guys transferred out of that program. He decided to stay.
No, because second year of tape, like you said. But I don't even know. I'd put it past the Steelers to come out of. It's anybody's.
Yeah. Now the one thing that Cincinnati has is Jamar Chase. That connection with Jamar Chase, like, he's doing some Megatron shit out there.
Yeah. The kid's like ridiculous. It's fun as fuck to watch.
Yeah. And like half of these plays, like we talk about Joe Burrow's cool, but a lot of times it looks like he's just chucking it up and Jamar Chase is coming down with it.
Saving his ass a couple of times. Yeah.
It's a mess. All right, Roger, let's go. Let's get on stage.
Is he walking on the what?
No, they're doing all the pomp and circumstance stuff now. Talking to like people and everything.
You better not be filled with space till 11, Roger. What the fuck?
You made midnight here.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's 10:30 right now for me.
Yeah, at least yeah, it's 11:30 here. At least I get to work from home tomorrow, so I can sleep in a bit.
Is there a way to be late when you're working at home?
Yes, I can miss my first meeting, which is at 9:30.
Right. What time?
9. So wait. I think my first meeting might be 8:30 tomorrow morning.
But you could do it in your underwear, so there's that.
Yes, it means I can sleep until like 8. Yeah. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock's my first meeting. So I have meeting at 9, meeting at 10. 2 meetings at 10 actually. 10:30.
How you pull?
I don't. 10:30, 11, 11:30. I think I get a break at 1, and we might cancel at 2, and then 3 to 4:30 on a Friday. I have like a demo. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who schedules meetings in the afternoon on a Friday? Like Friday, my afternoons I check out my brain.
There's a special place in hell for making people that make people work late on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's a special place in hell. It has pineapples.
Yeah, and you don't even believe in hell. So
I'm just saying, whatever, name it what you might, if there is a punishment after we leave this mortal coil, their punishment involves pineapple.
Pineapple? You don't like pineapple?
I do, but I don't like getting them stuffed up my ass.
Oh, yeah. That's, passion fruit. That's another one you don't want up there. Man, there's a whole list of fruit. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of fruit that I don't want shoved up my ass. Pineapple's definitely on there. I think Roger's coming with the final pick. But more importantly is, what fruit don't you want shoved up your ass? Like a full-grown watermelon? No, I do not want up my ass.
What?
Yeah, a full watermelon?
Jackfruit.
Yeah, no.
No. A jackfruit worse.
Like I said, there's a
jackfruit.
Lot. All right, let's see what we're doing here.
Or a starfruit. That would be good.
Pick in the
or
2022 NFL Draft, the Minnesota.
All right, hentai.
Lewis Cine.
All right, Lewis Cine, safety out of Georgia.
Georgia's been like, all right, they got 1, 2, 3.
Round 1 comes to a close with
4.
The Georgia defender taking tonight.
Georgia.
5 defensive players.
That brings us to the conclusion
of
round 1 in the first
of the 2022 NFL.
And not one of them was Nakobe
That's
Dean.
insane. Was their defense that nasty?
Yeah. National champions.
I don't recall.
Right? National champions.
That's awesome.
Good for them. All right, man.
All right. Well, I guess this.
Yeah, this concludes our draft. So, any final thoughts before we sign off for the night?
I'm glad that the Cleveland Browns did not fuck up their first round pick
by not having one.
Oh, that's what I conclude.
Yeah.
I would, see a lot of potential, but not a lot of bang.
Yeah. I'm kind of there with you with Miami. They didn't screw up their first round pick, but I think overall, this has been a weird draft. It wasn't the most exciting draft, but it was interesting seeing what a lot of teams have done, and it really speaks to the fact that we only had one quarterback go in the first round, that teams, I think, are getting better at really evaluating and valuing players and putting them where they need to go. Even Kenny Pickett being taken by the Steelers at 20 could be a bit of a reach, but the Steelers didn't move up and get him, so
not
a terrible move.
If you're Kenny Pickett, you can't really ask for a better organization than Pittsburgh to grow up in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think, that's a great place for him to be. So,
yeah, good culture, good coach, good front office. They're going to support him, put their arms around him like they did Big Ben, and he'll probably do better than he would if he'd have gone to a Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall it's going to be very, very. He has a lot of potential. So. But yeah, thanks for, all the viewers who are out there watching, and, P, thanks again for doing this. This is fun. One of my favorite things to do.
Man, this is annual shit. This is every year. This is Christmas. You're right. This is like as good as Christmas.
Yeah, nothing's more fun than sitting back and just being able to forget about the day and talk a little bit of football. So, I mean, that being said, I think we're gonna call it a night. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank everyone for the participation in chat, where you could, and thank our esteemed colleague Matty P and the NFL for having the draft on Thursday instead of Friday, so that I have something to complain about tomorrow.
There you go. You always need that kind of material. Yeah. Take care, man.
All right, good looking out, everyone.